47-year-old John Astorga is suing his ex-wife, 42-year-old vocational nurse Paula Dela Cruz, for their children's expenses when they lived with him.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 96 on the calendar in the matter of Astorga versus De La Cruz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Astorga, you and the defendant were married for how many years?
8 years, I believe, to be.
And when were you divorced?
Back in '98.
And you have 2 sons?
Yes, we do.
How old are the children?
13 and 15.
According to your complaint, there came a time, about a year or so ago, when your former wife was moving out of the area where she had been living with the 2 boys. And the 2 of you decided that the boys would come and spend the school year with you since you lived in their school district. Is that right?
Yes, I would say to a certain extent, Your Honor. The reason they came to live with me is because Paula and her husband had been separated at the time, and they got into a financial situation, so she had to move out of the home that she was in, which was a 3-bedroom apartment, and she had moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. So, being that I had a 2-bedroom apartment, the boys were in my school district, so they did come to live with me based on that fact.
Then there came a time when the children went back to live with their mother. She had a support order reinstated against you. Now you're suing her for that time, the support time that the children were living with you.
Right, that is correct, Your Honor.
Did you have a discussion with your former husband about child support?
Yes, I have released him on several occasions of rearages because he's either not had a job and they were going to take away his license. So at one point I have documentation here where I signed a paper to the DA releasing him of over $1,000 in rearages, but he was supposed to remain paying me child support.
Can I see that, please?
That's a copy from the district attorney's file.
This was back in 1996.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, so then in '96, he was supposed to continue to pay child support. And then in '98, he again got into rearages. And I again released him of child support.
Can I see that, please?
And it was September of '98 that I released him of paying child support, but he agreed to help me pay for clothes and stuff for the kids.
Okay, just a minute. How much was your support order back in 1996, sir?
I have it right here.
$158 a month.
Well, that's not a lot of money for 2 children.
No, it's not, Your Honor.
There came a time, sir, in 1996 when you fell in arrears in the amount of $1,345, according to this document. Can you tell me why that is?
Well, unfortunately, I've been disabled, Your Honor.
How did you support yourself?
Through odd jobs.
Odd jobs, right.
Yeah.
So from odd jobs, you pay $158 a month for your 2 children.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. You fell into arrears of $1,345. Just answer my question. Is it correct that your former wife released you from child support in the amount of $1,345 in 1996?
Yes, she did, but she also received a van back in '96 for the $1,400, Your Honor.
What do you mean a van?
Yes, I have a document here if you wish to look at it.
That van was ordered to me in LA when we got separated. That van was ordered to me because I had the children and the judge ordered me to have the van for transportation for the children.
Well, this does say that this release of the van had to do with the release of child support payments, madam.
Right, but he was
Okay.
supposed to continue to pay child support.
Continue to pay?
Right.
After that?
Right.
Okay, so
And he
that this piece of paper that you showed me releasing him from child support was really covered by the van. But then he was supposed to continue to pay.
And he got into
Did
rearages
he
again.
pay? All right, so let's forget this.
Okay.
All right, let's forget that piece. After 1996, did he pay his child support?
Up until September when he got into rearages again and I released him again. That's that letter you have there. In '99, beginning of '99, I was supposed to go to the DA and have him start him paying child support again. That's when I had my personal problems like he was talking about, okay? At that time, we made a verbal agreement because we both decided we didn't want to disrupt our kids' schooling. They go to very good schools. So we made a verbal agreement that he would keep the kids Monday through Friday to keep the kids in school. They would come home on the weekends. That started in March. They came home on the summer, and they went back when school started again at the end of August. I have receipts here from 1999. It totals almost to $1,400 that I spent on my children. I also work, I supply their medical coverage, I supply dental coverage, I supply vision coverage. I paid for Eric's glasses in 1999. They were $130. I have a court order here that he's supposed to pay half of that, which he never did. I finally put my foot down and said I'm not releasing him anymore. He has not been helping me. In December, when Christmas vacation came of '99, the boys came home with me for Christmas vacation. I didn't let them go back. My husband has been helping me transport them back and forth to school. He's asked him to help for transportation. He says, no, I will not do her any favors. He says, that's not a favor to her. Those are your kids. I've ordered him to start paying child support again. February, he was supposed to pay me $158. He only paid me $79. March, he was supposed to pay $158. He only paid me $79. May, he was supposed to pay...
Yes, Your Honor, okay. And she's well aware of why. On February 5th, Your Honor, I was involved in a motorcycle accident. Okay.
How were you on a motorcycle?
Because I do funeral escorts.
He's supposed to be disabled.
Just a second. You do what?
Funeral escorts, Your Honor.
I thought you were disabled.
I am. Okay.
And you were riding a motorcycle?
Well, I don't have to lift it or push it. The individual that I'm working for did not have workman's compensation coverage. So I did not have an income. And she's well aware of that.
Mr. Astorga, I want you to listen to me. I'm just playing around. I have divided $158 by 4.3. That's how many weeks there are in a month.
Yes, ma'am.
That comes to $37 a week.
Right.
Divided by 2.
Right.
That is $18 per child a week. Let's divide that by 7.
Mm-hmm.
$2.62 a day is what the court has ordered you to pay.
Okay.
$2.62 a day. Now, it appears to me that there has been a long pattern by you of not paying child support.
Judge Judy continues in a moment as his ex-wife Paula Dela Cruz owes him for expenses when their children lived with him.
Did your former wife pay for the boys' clothing?
She has an 18-year-old at home that she was also providing clothing for, too.
Did she provide
I don't know.
for the boys while they were living with you clothing?
No.
She
That's
didn't?
not true.
No.
Just a minute.
No,
She
Your
didn't?
Honor.
You bought them their clothing?
I bought most of their clothes. I have
Well,
receipts here, Your Honor.
Good. Let me see the receipts.
Can I show you mine?
Okay, these are all the receipts of the... Okay, this is a computer. Wait a minute. This is an electrical... There was also a computer that was purchased during the duration of my children's stay because they required computer-generated homework.
So you bought them a computer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you send it home with them when they went back to live with their mother?
No.
So you have it?
I have the computer, yes, but
So
they
why
do
did-
come over and use it periodically.
So why didn't you, if the children are with their mother, and you purchased this computer for their computer-generated homework, and they're now living with their mother, why didn't you give them their computer?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I felt I wasn't being compensated. I mean, it's
All
bad
right.
enough
What
I
do you
had
mean
my children for a
Just
whole
a second.
year.
What do you mean being compensated?
Well-
How do you compensate it for your
well-
children? How much did you spend on the computer, sir?
I paid for the computer $851, Your Honor.
When did you buy the computer?
I bought it back in August 22nd of '99.
And then you paid all of these amounts for the children's clothing.
Yes, ma'am.
So explain to me why, sir, that in the year 1999, you spent more on a computer than you did the entire year before on child support when the children were living
Okay.
with their mother. Explain that to me.
I will explain that to you.
That you're able to do that.
Okay, the reason being is because my children were living with me on a week basis and staying with her on weekends.
Sir, I'm not talking about that year. I'm saying
No,
to you
that's
in the
what's
year that the children were with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't doing anything more that year because you were disabled than you were doing this year. So
Okay.
explain to me, sir, how you were able to pay off $1,000 and all these other bills for your children.
Okay, I will explain to
Just
you.
a second.
Okay.
And since the children are back with their mother, you haven't been able to pay $2.62 for each of your children for child support.
I just explained that to you. February 5th, I was involved in a motorcycle accident.
How do you support yourself now?
Right now, I had money saved.
You have money saved?
I had.
Mr. Astorga, let me explain something to you, sir. You've been getting away with murder since 1996.
I don't think so, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I think you've been getting away with murder since
No.
1996, sir. It costs more than $2.62 a day to feed my dog.
Okay.
More, to
I
feed my
understand
dog, and my
that.
dog weighs 5 pounds. And you have the audacity to tell me that you believe that $158 a month for 2 teenage boys is a reasonable share for a parent to pay for their children and not pay it. And you want her to pay you for the 8 months that the boys were living
No.
with you? Get out of here. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused and they step out.
I'm taking him back to court. We have a court date in August, and the judge is going to order him to find a job, so he's mad.
And now the next case.
All parties on Gallo versus McDonald. Step forward, please.
44-year-old gas station attendant David Gallo is suing his former longtime girlfriend, 32-year-old financial consultant Jeanette McDonald, for half the value of the furniture they bought while living together. Jeanette is countersuing for harassment.
You and the defendant were in a relationship, according to your papers, for 13 years. And you have a child together, a girl.
Correct.
How old is your daughter?
She's 10.
According to your complaint, Mr. Gallo, when you separated, your arrangement was that the defendant could keep all of the household furnishings.
That's correct, ma'am.
And in exchange, you would keep 3 cars.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime after you separated, you loaned her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
And when she didn't pay you back, you filed a small claims case against her.
No, ma'am. She wrote me a post-dated check on it that bounced twice.
Whatever. You filed a small claims case
Yes, ma'am.
against her. And she filed a countersuit for half the vehicles.
Yes, ma'am.
Then it gets a little more complicated. On the day that that trial was set, according to you, your brother became ill? Or
Well,
he
my
di-
brother was in intensive care from a head wound. He died the day before court.
Okay. And you called her and you agreed to postpone the case.
Yes, ma'am.
But she went to court anyway and got a default judgment against you for $3,500.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you now want half the cost of the furniture, which you estimated $10,000, so you want $5,000 because she breached the agreement.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss McDonald, you have a counterclaim because you say that since the separation, Mr. Gallo has filed numerous lawsuits against you, causing you all kinds of harassment and stress. When did you separate?
We separated in December of 1996.
And at that time, he took the cars.
Your Honor, the story that I just heard you say is absolutely the first time I've ever heard that in my life. There was no agreement for cars versus furniture. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was arrested for willful cruelty to a child when he tried to kill my son. He stepped on his throat.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Gallo says ex-girlfriend Jeanette McDonald owes him for half the value of their shared furniture. Jeanette says this is David's third frivolous lawsuit.
Did he, in fact, take cars at the time you separated?
There were cars left, yes.
And you took the furniture?
Some furniture, yes.
Did there come a time when he gave you some money after 1996?
Not that I recall.
But he did file a small claims case against you.
Yes.
You did then file a counterclaim having to do with the cars
Yes.
that were left 3 years before.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right to me, Miss McDonald. That sounds like to me, if he's going to give it to me, I'm going to give it to him.
When I left him, he started filing suits against me and
When was
such
the first lawsuit that he filed against you?
in '99. However, prior to that, he was arrested for willful cruelty to a child when he tried to kill my son. He stepped on his throat.
That was in 1996, according to you.
Yes. And that's
Ms.
when I left.
McDonald, pay careful attention to me, madam. The first lawsuit that he filed against you was this lawsuit for $800.
Yes.
And you chose to retaliate by filing a counterclaim for $3,500 for property that, even if you had part interest in, you had really abandoned over 3 years. I find that suspect, Miss McDonald. Now, did you or did you not have a conversation with Mr. Gallo about his brother being ill and then dying?
No, I did not.
You mean there was never any understanding between the two of you that he was not going to appear on the adjourned date?
No, he called me the day before our court hearing, and he said, yeah, I'm having personal problems, so I'm not going to make it up there. And I said, well, what do you mean? Well, I continued it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I called the court, and I said, can he just continue the day before? And they said, no, only the judge can grant the continuance.
Had he made a request for a continuance?
Evidently, he had faxed the court letter saying that something, but I found out about that later.
So he did, in fact, call you and tell you that he was moving for a continuance?
Yes.
Because he had personal problems?
Yes.
Did his brother, in fact, die?
I don't know.
Well, you know his brother. I mean,
No,
you were
I
together
don't.
for 13 years.
I never met him.
She has met my brother, Your Honor.
In any event, she went there and she got a judgment against you for $3,500, which I believe
Yes, sir.
which I believe is bogus. The only thing that I can do with regard to that case, Mr. Gallo, is to make you whole, sir. Making you whole would give you a judgment for $3,500. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now let's get to your counterclaim, Ms. McDonald. You say he has filed numerous cases against you. I'd like to see them, please.
The second one he filed was for $2,450, half of household furnishings at time of separation. That was dismissed because he filed it in the wrong venue, and so no action was taken after that.
Okay, so that's the second one. That was after you got the judgment against him for $3,500.
Correct.
Okay, and what's the next one?
Is this one for $5,000 for, again, half of the household items after separation with a different separation date.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you what I find, Ms. McDonald. That $3,500 counterclaim that you filed was just to get even, and that was the first lawsuit that he filed against you in small claims court. The first, according to you.
Lawsuit, yes, but the harassment has been vandalism to my house. My propane lines have been cut. He put nails in the driveway. I have pictures of nails thrown in my driveway. He does everything he can to harass and make my life miserable.
The one lawsuit in small claims court was about the $800. And if he hadn't lost that, my sense was that he wouldn't file the rest of them over the furniture.
Right.
In any event, on your lawsuit, sir, I am awarding you $3,500. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And on your counterclaim, I'm dismissing it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 18-year-old student Keith Quintana is suing 21-year-old grocery clerk Jacob Vigil for assaulting him while shopping in a mall. Jacob says Keith was stalking his girlfriend.
Come to order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 76 on the calendar in the matter of Quintana versus Vigil. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ladies. Have seats, please.
Mr. Quintana, the defendant assaulted you,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were injured.
Yes.
This happened in a mall,
Yes.
and he assaulted you by punching you in the face.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of injuries did you sustain?
I lost my front tooth and hit to the head, so I'd go to the emergency room.
And you don't deny that you hit him?
No, ma'am, I do not.
And you didn't know him before?
No, ma'am, that was the first time I've ever seen him before.
So why don't you tell me why you hit him?
Well, it all started, my girlfriend told me that he had been dropping by and trying to get her phone number and get a date with her.
This is your girlfriend?
Yes, this is my girlfriend, Monique.
Step up here. You work in the mall?
I did.
And when, for the first time, did you see the plaintiff?
On October 4th, I believe.
He came into where you were working?
Yeah.
He came up to you and you had a conversation with him?
He asked me for my phone number, and I told him that I had a boyfriend.
When did you see him again?
The next day.
And tell me what happened.
He would go from Mervyn's to in front of Walgreens and stand there and watch me.
Like he had a crush on you?
Yeah.
So?
So he kept coming around and around. And
Did he ever speak to you?
No, but he would have his friends speak to me.
Friends would come up and speak to you about him?
Yeah, ask me for my phone number for him.
What would they say?
My friend really likes you. He was wondering if he could have your phone number.
And you said no?
Yeah.
And how many times did his friends come up and ask for your phone number?
About 3 or 4.
And then what happened?
And he kept coming around and around. And I was having my mom come and meet me, and...
Well, he never came up to you, did he?
No.
Never said anything else to you, did he?
No, he was just watching me.
He was just standing around?
Yeah.
And you told your boyfriend about it?
Yes.
And then there came a time when you called your boyfriend, according to what I've read here, and said, he's here again.
Yes.
And what day was that?
October 15th.
And how many times had you seen him in total those 10 days?
Probably about 8, because I was off Sunday and he didn't come one day.
Now, so you call your boyfriend, you say he's here again. Boyfriend arrives, right?
Yes.
So what did you do when you arrived?
Well, I went over there. She pointed him out to me. I went up to him to tell him to leave her alone. He confronted me.
No. You went up to him.
Yes, she pointed him out to me. He was coming the opposite way from which I approached him.
So you went up to him and then you were face to face?
Yes, we had a confrontation.
Well, so far he doesn't even know who you are, so you can't have a confrontation. So you walk up to him and what did you say?
I had asked him...
no, tell me what exactly you said.
To leave my girlfriend alone and to quit stalking her.
And what did he say?
There was a verbal exchange of profanities.
No, just tell me what he said to you.
There were some profanities said.
That's all right, I've heard everything.
Okay. I'm not stalking your girlfriend.
Okay, so that's what he said to you.
Yeah.
And then what did you say to him?
I told him that he better leave her alone.
Okay. And what did he say to you?
Nothing. That's when I thought he was going to hit me, so I hit him.
You thought he was going to hit you?
Yeah, he came towards me. I felt threatened. He came to me like he was going to hit me.
But he didn't hit you?
No, I hit him first.
Right. Now, what happened after he hit you?
Well, first, I never seen his face at all. He'd never talked to me. He never confronted me. So when he first hit me, he hit me in the back of my head. And then that's when I started to turn around and he punched me in the face. And that's when I guess I got my tooth knocked out. And he grabbed me by my hair and tried to hit me with his knee on my face. And he pushed me back down to the floor. And then when I got up, he had already left the mall, and I was asking who was it, and nobody knew who it was.
How did you find out who it was?
I found out who he was later on that night at the hospital.
Tell me about that.
Okay, my grandma took me to the hospital because my tooth had been knocked out, like it was all the way out. So I went into the emergency room, and we sat down, and we were sitting right in front of him, and I still didn't know who he was at the time. But my grandma was just joking around, and she says, well, he's got his hand wrapped up. Was that him? And I said, I don't know. I never seen who even hit me. And he got up and started telling me, well, you, and I'm going to kick you again. And
does that sound familiar to you, about being in the emergency room?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
All right. Does it sound familiar to you that the two of you were in the emergency room together?
Yes, it does.
And when you got to the emergency room, was he there already?
No, I had arrived first.
So you're sitting there?
Yes.
And he walked in?
Yes.
And he sat down?
Yes.
He didn't say anything to you at first?
No.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Right. So it wasn't as if he recognized you right away?
I would say he did recognize
I don't
me.
care what you say, what you think. He came down, he sat down in the emergency room. He didn't get up and say, that's the person who hit me.
No, he did not.
No. Let me see your medical bills.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Tana says Jacob Vigil knocked out his tooth when he assaulted him. Jacob admits he hit Keith, but says he was stalking his girlfriend.
What was the success of trying to put your tooth back in the socket?
well, since it was knocked out so soon, they said if they try to re-put it, it might just grow back. The root might just connect right away, and that's what they were hoping would happen. But there was an abscess, and they said, well, if it goes away, then everything will be all right, but it never went away.
So did they have to remove the tooth?
It's got to be removed, yes.
Ms. Bellegarde, if you were afraid of the plaintiff, why didn't you, instead of calling your boyfriend, why didn't you call the police?
I thought he would leave.
That doesn't make sense, madam. You say that for 8 days you've been concerned because he was hanging around where you were working, right? And if you thought he would leave, what did you call your boyfriend for?
Because I wanted my boyfriend to tell him to leave me alone.
Well, I'm asking you, why didn't you call the police?
I didn't think about it.
Well, your boyfriend certainly did tell him to leave you alone. But he told him to leave you alone in a way that caused him serious physical injury.
Your Honor, she can attest that I did not jump him from the back.
Whether you jumped him from the back or whether you jumped him from the front, it doesn't make any difference, sir. You punched him and you punched him first. And you punched him first because you were angry. And he didn't know who you were from a hole in the wall. And I'm not asking her to attest for anything because she didn't use her brains. Somebody is stalking you. If you believe that they're stalking you, then what you do is you call the police. You don't call your boyfriend to come and have a talk with him. That's not what you do. Because what happens is exactly what happened here. You assaulted him. You filed, I assume, criminal charges against him.
Yes, ma'am.
But what happened with that criminal case?
There still hasn't been set yet.
Is there a criminal case
No,
pending?
we had it. They dismissed it with no prejudices.
They dismissed it?
Yes, we went to court previously, and it was dismissed.
Why?
Without prejudice, because it was a pre-trial, and no conclusion came to the end. It didn't come to a conclusion.
Step up, please. Go ahead. You're his mother.
I'm his grandmother.
A young grandmother.
Thank you. Anyway, we did go to municipal court because of the charges, and they had already agreed that he would have to pay the medical bills, and then they came up with a conclusion that they were going to dismiss him without prejudice because my husband is the one that filed the original complaint, and even though we've raised him since he was little, we've never adopted him, so we're not his legal guardians. So him and his dad filed, and then Jacob filed a motion to dismiss because Keith's dad signed the complaint, and he wasn't a plaintiff because by this time Keith was already over 18.
They have any relatives that work in the police department?
I have no
Do you?
idea.
No, Mom,
Do
I
you?
do not.
Nope.
You have any relatives that work in a district attorney's office?
No, I do not.
I never heard of such a lot of mumbo-jumbo in my life. The police are the complainants. The state is the complainant.
Well, his public defender also suggested to him, after the judge had told him that he had to pay, that maybe he should file bankruptcy.
It wasn't a public defender. My dad had hired a private attorney for it.
Oh, good. So your dad has money to hire a private lawyer for you?
No, but my dad's willing to help me out.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Sir, right here. No.
How many times you need to tell a guy no before he actually gets it through his head, you know?
There's all kinds of girls in Santa Fe, and I wouldn't stay stuck on just one if she tells me no, you know?
And now the next case.
All parties on George versus Pressler. Step forward, please.
31-year-old homemaker Robin George is suing her former best friend, 39-year-old educational secretary Peggy Pressler, for the return of her Barbie doll collection. Peggy is countersuing for the cost to stable a horse.
I'm going to review what I understand is the complaint here. At the end of that, I'm going to ask you if what I've indicated is correct or incorrect so that we can resolve this matter swiftly. All right? Okay. According to what I've read, Miss George, you and the defendant were good friends. You were going through a rather acrimonious divorce, and you had a valuable Barbie doll collection.
That's correct.
You asked the defendant if she could hold them for safekeeping for you. Is that right?
She offered to keep them. It was her suggestion.
Fine. And you agreed, and you still have the collection?
Yes, ma'am.
When was this? In what year?
It was around October or September of '96.
Your complaint is that divorce proceedings are over, everything was finished, and she will not return the Barbie doll collection to you. When did you ask her for them?
In March of 1997, right before I moved from the state of Ohio to Florida.
Well, what took you so long to sue her?
Because I have very strong Christian beliefs, and I did not believe that that was the way you treated your good friend. and I wanted to try and mend it without going to these extremes.
All right. You still have her collection.
Yes, ma'am.
Your defense is as follows. Back then, sometime in 96, 97, around that time, this gentleman, you're the husband now?
Yes.
Then you were her boyfriend.
Right.
And you had an arrangement with him to board horses or something. You were going to split the cost of boarding some horses with him.
Co-own.
And he reneged on his part of the bargain, didn't pay for the boarding fees. You say you can have the adult collection back as soon as he pays for his boarding fees that he owes me.
Right.
Did you ever sue him?
No,
for the
ma'am.
money? Well, he's not a party to this action, Miss Pressler. She has no control over that. She has no control over what he owes you. You have to return her collection to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You didn't pay for half, and you stuck her with half.
Well,
that's not the right thing to do.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin George says former best friend Peggy Pressler won't return her collection of Barbies. Peggy says Robin's husband owes her for the cost to stable a horse.
What you're trying to do is set off what he owes you from this doll collection. You can't do that. They weren't even married at the time. She had no obligation to pay any part of what his agreement was as far as the dollar amount that he was to pay you. I understand that there was some talk at some point that he turned ownership over to you because he couldn't afford to keep them anymore, so now you own the horses yourself. Right. And what you think that he owes you were backboarding for before he turned ownership over to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give her back her dolls. You mean you haven't spoken to each other since 1997?
Oh, no, we have. We've
Yes.
spent time together. And
So why hasn't this issue been resolved?
I initially wrote her the fall of '97 and told her that I would like to mend our friendship and that the dolls were just material items. However, I would eventually like to get them back. Our friendship was more important. And at that time, I did not hear anything from her. Again, I attempted in the fall of '98. I'm usually in Ohio in that time, and it always weighs heavily on my mind. I actually went, was that when I went to your house in '98?
no,
99.
99.
I'm sorry, in '98, my mother, unbeknownst to me, approached Peggy to get the dolls back for me to surprise me for Christmas. And she said that she wanted Bob to take care of it and was not wanting the money from my mother. She wanted it from Bob. And that she would not give them to my mother. She felt like she was being used. I did not speak to her until the fall of '99, I'm sorry. And at that time, I went to her home and I knocked on her door and we talked. I wanted to mend our friendship. We were excellent friends. We were best friends. We did everything together. She meant a lot to me. And I wanted to mend that friendship. I did not want her to think that I was going to her house to get my dolls. That was not my intention. So I did not mention it until February. And at that time I emailed her because I found it difficult to discuss it with her in person. And I told her that in order for our friendship to completely mend, we needed to clear up the problem with the dolls.
How many dolls are there?
After all these long years, I cannot give you an exact number. But
how many dolls?
I have an exact list. We pulled the Barbies out before we came here and did an exact listing of them.
Okay.
There's approximately 13 dolls and 2 figurines.
I am not sure of the exact number. I figured there were more, close to 20, and I have a list of all the dolls that I came up with. I don't
Well,
know
I
if
can't
any of
look at
them
that,
are
madam.
missing
She
or
says
not.
that she has, after 4 years, she has 13 dolls and 2 figurines.
And 2 figurines, yes, ma'am.
That's what she has. And I have absolutely no reason to doubt her, nor should you, after all these years. So within 5 days, the dolls have to be returned to her. Now, Mr. George, all I have to say to you is, do you feel as if you owe the defendant any money?
Should I?
Yes, stand up. You feel as if you owe her any money?
No, I don't. We stressed to
Did you?
her.
Just a second. You have to understand that if you didn't do the right thing and pay her the money that you were supposed to and that you agreed to pay her, you came in between a friendship, and that's the wrong thing.
Well, what I told her at the time was we went in together and bought this horse. And I told her since I went through my divorce, it costed so much.
We didn't buy the horse.
The horse was given to us. I, at that time, told her I could no longer afford the horse. I told her to pay off our bills.
When you went into this agreement with her, you said you were going to pay for half the boarding.
Right.
And you didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You should have paid it. Somebody had to pay it.
Yeah, but...
Did you pay it every month?
I worked down at the barn in order to pay it, and I ended up using all of my work credit to pay for it, as well as writing a check for it.
That's not fair, Mr. George.
But my problem is, we gave her the option. We told her we would sell the horse at that time and use it to pay the board. She said no, she did not want to do that. So then I gave her the horse, which was worth probably $1,000, $1,500. I mean, I don't feel that I should owe her anything when I had paid for the transportation and the upkeep.
I did. I paid for the vet bills. In order to get her there, no, you did not. You did not pay me anything.
We split everything.
You paid Martha, who was the
George,
owner.
what you did was you didn't do the right thing because you interfered with a very, very long-standing friendship by not paying what you were supposed to, by taking on a responsibility, the boarding of this horse, and putting her in a position where for 4 months she had to assume your responsibility. Well, that's not the right thing to do. And whether after 4 months you said to her, well, you take the horse because I can't do it anymore, that's not relevant. What's relevant is that you said, I will pay for half. You didn't pay for half, and you stuck her with half. I can't deal with that now, but be open enough to understand that because of your actions, your wife is upset because she had a friend for a very long time, and that friendship was marred because you acted irresponsibly. Within 5 days, you're going to get your dolls. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues. Eugenia Kreiner is suing ex-boyfriend, 28-year-old golf course attendant Eric Scott, for an unpaid loan to fix his car. Eric has a countersuit claiming Eugenia vandalized his vehicle.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 47 on the calendar in the matter of Kreiner versus Scott. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Kreiner, you and the defendant had a sort of on and off relationship for several years, according to your complaint. And during that time, recently, he called you and asked you for a loan to fix his car.
Yes.
And how much money did you give him?
$1,200.
And the two of you have a child together?
Yes.
How old is your child?
3.
So you acknowledge that she gave you the $1,200 to fix the car. Your defense is, as well as a counterclaim, that there is a set-off. You do agree you owe her some money, that $1,200, but claim that she caused damage to your car she agreed to pay for. So since we have no issue with regard to the $1,200, let me hear about your counterclaim, sir.
Well, Your Honor, in June of '99, Eugenia came over to my house, and my girlfriend was there at the time. And she got real upset, and she went outside and ripped the windshield wiper off the rear of my vehicle.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Shh, just a second.
And she
What was she doing at your house?
My son was there, and
So she came to pick up your
she
son?
was coming over there, yeah, to get him. Okay. And she had been somewhere with my sister, and she was asking me about who was I going to be with, her or my girlfriend, and I told her I was with my girlfriend. So she proceeded to walk over to my car, and she ripped the windshield wiper off,
not true.
and she damaged it.
You keep saying not true, and I keep telling you I'm going to give you a chance, madam.
Okay.
Now, what happened when she ripped the windshield wiper off your car?
She grabbed me again by the collar of my shirt and was yelling at me, why am I doing this to her, and that type of thing. And my sister said, well, I'm going to call the police so it doesn't go any further.
So were the police called?
They were called, but by the time my sister had already put her in the car and took her off, so I left and went to work.
Okay, so this was the back windshield wiper, did you say?
The rear windshield wiper of my vehicle.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
93 Chevy Astro. I have an estimate as far as the parts and what the labor costs for that. And I also have a photograph.
Now, did you, I'll see it.
Okay.
Did you ever discuss that with the plaintiff?
Yes,
fixing
I did.
It? When?
After it had happened, I told her that she owed me for the damages she caused to my vehicle. And she initially said that, yeah, I know I owe you, and I'll pay you back. Then what happened initially, my car broke down, and I was really in a pinch, and I needed to get to work. So I had to go to her and ask. I mean, we've been back and forth and different things, but I figured the fact that she owed me that $800, she could at least see for it to help me get it fixed. And then I do things for her all the time as far as taking her places and things because she's without a vehicle. So I figured.
Well, let me go back a little bit. You say that this happened in June of '99. So she was really angry with you in June of '99.
Yeah.
Well, between June of '99, when she ripped the windshield wiper off your car, and August of '99, when you called for the loan, had you made up?
I guess we had started speaking again.
We was engaged, Your Honor.
No, we weren't.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
But no, during that time, I ended up, she still needed rides to different places and that type of thing. I guess you could say we had somewhat made peace. And then she had also told me that she was going to pay for the vehicle. So I was kind of stupid again, thinking that, okay, she's going to change and she's not going to do those type of things to me anymore.
What you do to me? What you do to me?
Shh. Shh. Ms. Kreiner, you went over to pick up your son at his house.
Yes.
And he was there with another young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to tell me what happened on that date.
Me and his sister Stephanie, we went out shopping that day, and I came back to pick up my son. And he was there with another young lady, and I asked who was it, and he was saying, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And it led from there. I mean, we was arguing. It was like physical, you know, but as damaging his van, I did not.
Physical by who?
We're not going to get into that, but we have been physical.
So it got physical?
Yes.
Because you were angry?
Yes.
And what you're telling me is you didn't damage the van?
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm. Was your sister a witness?
Yes, she was.
Where's your sister today?
My sister had to work today.
What's your sister's telephone number?
323-777.
And what is her name?
Stephanie.
Let's see. Is this Stephanie? Stephanie, this is Judge Judy Scheindlin. Ms. Kreiner is here along with your brother, Mr. Scott, with regard to an incident that occurred back in June of 1999, and I understand that you were present. You were out shopping with Ms. Kreiner. You came back to your brother's house. Their little boy was there, and then there was an altercation with Ms. Kreiner and your brother. Do you remember that? Yeah, okay, I thought you might. Can you tell me what, if anything, you observed with regard to the windshield wiper on the back of your brother's car? And you saw that? Okay. You are very, very kind. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yes, you did.
Oh, I did.
Yes, you did.
That's not true.
Oh, sure it is. She, and not only that, but she was a peacemaker. She was the one who said to you, let's just get in the car and I'll take you home. She did.
No.
You did get into the car and she did take you home, did she not?
Yes, she did.
Was your son with you?
Yes, he was.
And you did put your hands on him because that's what she said you did. You grabbed him by the collar. You grabbed him by the collar and you pushed him.
That's not true.
Oh, sure it is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Eugenia Kreiner says ex-boyfriend Eric Scott owes her for a loan to fix his car. Eric says Eugenia owes him for tearing off his windshield wiper in a jealous rage.
The only problem that you have, Mr. Scott, is your counterclaim was for $800. According to the bill that you gave me, the cost of replacing this system that she pulled out was $408.01.
Initially, when I got the first estimate, they had done one that included the labor charges and that involved in that. But what had happened, it's been a while, and she was saying she was going to pay me. I figured I'd give her time to get that money back.
Whatever. It's not $800. It's only $400.
That's just for the parts alone, Your Honor.
Don't you have a separate bill for labor?
When I went to go get the one for the labor, he wrote that on there, and that's why he gave me his business card.
Well, even that is only $540, so where do you get $800 from?
Because the initial one that I initially got
was more. Okay, so $540. So even if I give you credit for that, she lent you $1,200, you still owe her $660, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you got to pay her.
No, I didn't. I never had any problem with paying her.
No, well, this happened in August. She lent you the money in August.
No, my issue was when I told her I was going to deduct what she owed me to get my vehicle fixed, and I told her I'd give her that. She said no, she wanted it all.
Go ahead.
He told me that he was going to pay me in a timely manner, okay? In September of '99, on my son's birthday, a week before my son's birthday, I said, can I have my money? He said, no, because I got to pay for Jerome's party. Christmas time, I got to help Jerome with some stuff for Christmas. So New Year's, okay, when I get my tax return, it's always off and on, off and on.
Are you telling me you never had a discussion with him where he said to you, you know, you broke the windshield wiper?
No.
I'm not asking you whether you did it or not. I'm asking you whether you ever had a discussion with him where he said that he wanted to deduct what was due and owing to fix his windshield.
No.
You never had a discussion with him? He never said to you, I'm going to pay you, but I'm going to deduct the amount of the windshield?
No.
Your Honor, I told her that on several occasions.
Okay. I find that she is responsible to fix the windshield. I believe that it happened. You do, however, owe her some money, sir.
Yes, Your
You owe her $660. Pay her.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I did owe her the balance of the money, but the only thing was I just didn't feel that I should have to pay her all the money when she did owe me for damaging my vehicle.
It was a total lie. I did not do that. I mean, of course his sister go stand up for him.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hill versus Curlette. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Ashley Hill is suing her hairdresser, 28-year-old microbraid technician Lysandra Curlette, for services not rendered and an assault.
Ms. Hill, the defendant was your hairdresser. You were going to your senior prom. You paid her in advance to braid your hair.
Yes, ma'am.
Your lawsuit says she not only failed to complete the job of braiding your hair, but she also, when you went there that last time, she assaulted you. As a result, you missed the prom.
Yes.
How long does this braiding process take?
It usually take about a couple weeks.
A couple of weeks? How many hours altogether?
30.
30 hours. You mean you have to sit in a chair for 30 hours to have your hair done?
Yes.
Just explain for my own information. What do you do, different sections at each time?
Yes.
Well, what happens to one section? You braid one section, you have the other section not braided?
Yes.
Doesn't that look silly?
Yes. Sometimes, if it's not finished.
And how much did you pay her?
$300.
All right, so now tell me what happened on the 6th of May.
I went to her house about 9 o'clock in the morning.
You had an appointment?
Yes. And she was working on other people up until about 2 o'clock. And I asked her if she...
So what do you do? You just sat there from 9 to 2?
Yes.
So at about 2 o'clock, what happened?
I asked her if she wanted me to come back later, and she got an attitude with me and told me to go sit down. So I went and sat down, and I was talking to another client, and I was telling her I don't see how she got mad at me because I asked her if she wanted me to come back. Another client, I believe her witness, she went back and told her something. I have no idea what she told her. And then she was yelling and screaming at me. Then she was like, well, I think you need to leave. So I said, okay, well, I'm about to leave. As I was approaching the door, she jumped in front of the door and was pushing me into the wall and grabbing on me and all that. And I was like, well, I want to leave. And she was like, no, you ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stay in here and let you put your hands on me. She finally moved out the way and let me leave. And on the way out, she said, thanks for my $300 and don't come back.
Well, were you injured in any way?
No, I just had scratches and bruises on my arm.
Well, that's injury. So now tell me why you didn't go to the prom.
Because my hair wasn't done and my dress was sleeveless and I had scratches and stuff all on me.
Nah.
I mean, but you can see my hair is, I couldn't go to the prom with my hair
Well, you had
looking
between
like this.
May 6th and May 21st to find somebody else to finish up the job. Why didn't you do that?
Because don't nobody braid hair exactly the same way she does and it wouldn't have looked right. That's like having one person do half of your head and another person do the other half of your head.
Did you try?
I don't know nobody else that braid hair.
Did you look in the phone book?
And plus I would have had to pay somebody else to braid the other half or all my hair. And that would have been another couple $100.
So the answer is you didn't try?
No.
What'd you do with the dress?
It's hanging up in my closet.
That sounds very foolish to me.
And what else was I supposed to do with it?
You're supposed to get somebody else to finish your hair, do it yourself, take out the braids, do something, and go to the prom, because you only have one prom to go to.
I know.
That's what you do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You took your 3-year-old toddler to get your hair done for a whole weekend. Didn't take your child out to the park, didn't take him out to a zoo. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ashley Hill says she wasn't able to go to her prom because micro-braid technician Lysandra Curlett refused to finish her braids. Ashley is also suing for an assault.
All right, Ms. Curlett, tell me your version of the events of the 6th of May.
Well, Your Honor, she came in that morning, about 8:30, 9 o'clock that morning, okay? I had been up for like 2 or 3 days because this process takes a long time. Everyone is issued out one of these, okay? And it specifically states about the patients in here on each page.
Okay, can I see it, please?
They know to call in, to check in, to make sure that they have time
All right,
for
did
me.
she call you on May 6th?
No, she did not. It was set up the day before when I, in return, picked her up from school and her son from daycare. So if I had no intentions on finishing, why would I go to those extremes?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Right.
So you were really more than just her hairdresser.
Right, exactly.
Did she, on the 5th, you have a child?
Yes.
How old is your child?
3.
How old are you?
17.
The day before this happened, did she work on your hair?
Yes. But that's not the day
No,
that
no,
she came and picked me up from school.
Was there a day that she took you home, picked your child up from daycare, drove you home?
Yes, many a time she's taken me home because I'd be over there to about 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's only by choice, because you can leave at any time you like, and you can come back. She laid around on the furniture, slept, ate. You weren't just sitting there. She had a ball, Your Honor.
Well, I assume.
Because I'm not a boring person. I try to keep everybody entertained because I know it takes a long time.
So tell me what happened on the 6th.
Okay, when she came in that morning, I told her, just give me a second. I had another person drop a child off to me that's about 2 or 3 years old. It only takes about an hour or two to do the child's hair. So I'm, of course, going to put the child first, ahead of everybody, because you don't want a toddler going crazy on you while you're sitting there trying to make them be still. So just go in there and sit down, and I'll be with you in a hot second. I'll be there in a minute. Okay, she goes in there and sits down. That's when she starts bad-mouthing me to another client that
To
she
this
does not
client?
know. Yes, ma'am. She was in there.
Step up.
This is not the particular
not
client
to
that she was
me.
talking to, but I was there.
And you heard what was going on inside? Well, step up, please. Tell me your name.
Crystal Blaine.
Could you tell me what you heard the plaintiff say on that date?
She was in the living room and she was telling another girl she was taken all day and that it is times when she's over there all night long and that she never gets touched.
Okay. Somebody came and told you what the plaintiff was saying about you.
Exactly.
And what did you do?
I started talking to her and I was like, Ashley, I can't believe that you're sitting out here saying these things about me as much as I've done for you. All of a sudden, she tried to leave, start crying, screaming, I didn't say, just going ecstatic. And we tried to restrain her from leaving. That's
Why?
about all. Because she didn't have a ride. She's 17 years old.
What did you do to restrain her?
Nothing, just held her back from the door. Exactly.
And then what happened?
And then she got ecstatic, crying. We opened the door, let her go. I said, thank you very much, because you know there is no refund.
After she left on that date, did you receive a phone call from her?
No, ma'am,
or
I
a
did not.
communication from her in an attempt to set up another appointment?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Ms. Hill, did you in fact call her?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I didn't want to go back over her house after she put her hands on me. That's why I just want my money back, that's all.
Okay. Takes about how many visits to get your hair done?
It's up to her. Sometimes I stayed over there like April the 14th. I stayed over there the whole weekend.
And the whole weekend she worked on your hair?
No. That weekend she didn't work on me at all.
So what'd you do over there a whole weekend?
Just sit and wait.
Well, come on. Who watched your baby?
That weekend he was there.
Miss Hill, are you telling me you took your 3-year-old toddler to somebody's house to get your hair done for a whole weekend, didn't take your child out to the park, didn't take him out to a zoo? You sat because you wanted to get your hair braided? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Okay. A, you did not make an attempt to go back to have her finish the hairdo, which you could have done. And then you could have sat there for another 5, 6, 7 days, because if that's your order of priorities, you probably would have done that. But in any event, she is not allowed to, under the law, put her hands on you. I do find that you did suffer visible scratches on your arms, no serious injuries. That was not a basis for you not to go to the prom, to let your dress hang in a closet. I mean, if you wanted to go to the prom, you certainly could have. But Ms. Curlette has to know that she can't put her hands on you. And you should, Ms. Curlette, not work when you're stressed.
Can I tell you why I got upset?
Yes.
Because me and Ashley were better than that. Ashley knows that I put my heart into whatever I do for her and her son.
I believe that that's true. So you were hurt. In addition, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. 23-year-old college student Ken Zust is suing next-door neighbors, 41-year-old manufacturing supervisor Jerry Herndon and his wife, 38-year-old Maria Herndon. Ken says the Herndons' dogs won't stop barking, and the Herndons won't do anything about it.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 87 on the calendar in the matter of Zust versus Herndon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Zust, you and the defendant are neighbors.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next-door neighbors.
Correct.
Your complaint is that the Herndons have dogs. How many dogs do they have?
2 dogs.
What kind of dogs are they?
I am not sure.
How big?
About 60 pounds, maybe.
Each?
Each.
Your complaint is that for the last 2.5 years, the dogs have impeded your ability to enjoy your home. You can't sleep at night because they're constantly barking.
Sure.
And this has been the subject of constant stress between the two of you, that the Herndons have received citations for the dogs barking, but it hasn't helped. And finally, as a last resort, you filed this small claims case for harassment. Correct?
Sure.
And I understand from reading your papers that you have a video.
Yes, I do.
To show me.
Yes, I do.
I'd
It's
like
right
to
here. And over here is my family room. And here's my kitchen, which are all right next to my neighbor's barking dogs, of which are fenced in that small area right there. And you can see where I had to board up my window with soundboard. And over here is where my neighbor keeps his barking dogs all day and all night. And as you can see, it's very small, dirty, and muddy, and caged in. And there's 2 dogs back there. But my neighbor has this huge backyard over here. But he doesn't want them back there. I don't know why, but perhaps it might keep him up. These are some times that they've been barking, day and night. 4 a.m., you see right here.
I see, sir. Tenacious little sucker.
Yes, they are.
So?
Your Honor, in our defense, our dogs don't bark where they are a nuisance. They are dogs, they will bark. They too have big dogs that weigh probably 80 pounds each that bark.
At night?
At different hours of the
At
day.
night?
At night, sometimes yes. When they let them out to eat, to do whatever they have to do.
Are your dogs out all the time?
They're outside dogs, yes. Okay. And we have designated their area to keep them out of the rest of our yard because that's where our kids play. We have 2 little girls, and the other side of our house is all cement, and it's not even half the size of where they are kept now.
Ms. Herndon, let me tell you, because I believe in being honest, you're starting from a very poor position with me today. Because for the last 2 nights, when I got into bed early, about 9 o'clock, because I get up very early to come into court, and there was a barking dog outside. It's a residential area. Couldn't tell where the dog was coming from, where the noise was coming from, because it's pretty dense, and I couldn't see that far down. see where the dog was coming from. But it, for sure, not only annoyed me, but annoyed hundreds of other people because it was quiet, except for, you know, that muted sound of cars traveling, perhaps, and piercing. The silent night air was the sound of this dog, single dog, barking. And it would stop for a couple of minutes, and I would try to fall asleep fast before it started again. And then you can't fall asleep because you're trying to fall asleep quickly. Do you understand? You finally, because you think if you fall asleep, then you won't hear it bark. We understanding each other?
Oh, very well.
Right? So then you can't fall asleep at all because you're waiting and anticipating the sound of that dog starting to bark again. And I try to prepare for my cases. I had read these cases before I come to work, and I said, I must tell the Herndons when they come that they do not get a judge with a blank slate. You get a judge with a history. Unfortunately for you, my history was the last 2 nights I didn't sleep because of a barking dog. And I said to myself, these people who have that dog are really outrageous. They're outrageous because what they could do is, at night, take their dogs inside because it may not bother them. They have probably become numb to the sound of the dogs barking, but the rest of the community has not become numb to the sound of the dogs barking. So I said to myself, why don't these people take their dogs that are getting excited because somebody may walk by, they may hear a sound someplace, and bring them into the house where they won't bark? And I ask you the same question. Why don't you bring your dogs inside at night?
Because they're outside dogs, Your Honor.
Tough!
That's
tough.
I have a petition from all our neighbors around us that have signed it that say our dogs are not a nuisance to them.
Let me tell you something. Your dogs are right near his window. You've chosen to put your dogs at a place that's convenient for you so that it's not where your children play in the backyard, so they're not going to step all over mess. It's not on the other side where it's too narrow. It's right near his window. So your other neighbors might not be as offended as he is or his family is by this noise, but he is. You don't have a right to do that. That's unreasonable.
My dogs don't bark the way he has made it out to be.
They don't have to bark all the time, madam. You could be fast asleep, and at midnight, if your dogs are outside and you see a cat running by, they start to bark. That wakes you up. What are you pointing at, sir?
Our dog run, which she had flooded out on several different occasions, and we have feel that it's on purpose.
So what?
It's flooded with 2 inches of water.
So what?
That's not right.
Let me ask you this question, sir. How long have they been asking you to take your dogs in at night?
They never asked us to take our dogs in at night. We don't talk to them.
You mean even before this started? Even before this nasty stuff started?
Your Honor, that video he just showed, my dogs were rambunctious because somebody was aiming at them over the fence with a video camera.
No, sir. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm smarter than you are. Your dogs were rambunctious because they wanted to get from their caged-in area into the main backyard. Your dog was digging under the fence, and if your dog...
No.
I'm speaking, don't shake your head and don't speak. If your dog was agitated because somebody was videotaping them, they would have been up barking at the fence where the video camera was pointing. They wouldn't have been digging under the fence to get into the backyard.
Looks like they were trying to get away from him to me.
You hear that, sir? They said, oh, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Dust says next-door neighbors Jerry and Maria Herndon won't do anything about their barking dogs.
When was the first time that either you or any member of your family spoke to the Herndons about the noise?
On January of '98, my mom went over to
Is she
talk
here
to them.
today?
Yeah, she's right here.
Could you step up, please?
And
Just a minute, she'll tell
okay.
me.
I
What
went
is your
over-
last name?
My last name is Zust.
Yes.
And I went over and knocked on their door, and they let me in the house. And I explained to them the situation, that it's our living area. They have no windows in their area. And could they please do something about the dogs? Mr. Herndon overheard it from the back of his house. He came out and he said, he kind of threw me out of the house using some swear words.
You can tell me
So
what he said. You can tell me what he said, Ms. Sust.
This is, get the hell out of my house. So.
Was that the first conversation that you had with them?
Over the dog incident, yes.
How long had they had the dogs?
I'm
that
guessing
point?
about 2.5 years.
Did this conversation that you had in 1998, was that when they first got the dogs?
Yes, about then.
Okay.
And they were puppies, and they were really barking. And it's right under our living area, and plus my son's room. So I tried the nice way first.
How long had you been neighbors?
Well, they used to live in another part of the cul-de-sac and then moved in next door to us.
When? Do you remember what year?
I don't know exactly.
But it was well before this?
About 6 months prior.
Okay. And
this.
you had no negative interaction with them before?
Not really, no.
Not before the dogs?
No.
Okay, so there was no reason for him to throw you out of the house?
No. I came over with it, hopefully that we could resolve it as neighbors.
Okay, and you were speaking to his wife?
Yes. And
you remember that?
Yeah.
And is that what happened?
She came over and asked, and she didn't say that that's where their living quarters were. She said her husband was not comfortable with our arrangements to keep our dogs where we did.
Yes.
And we told her that that was the only proper place for us to keep our dogs.
Is that what your husband said to her?
We said...
Just a second, not we.
Yes.
What did your husband say to her?
He came out and told her to get out, that we didn't want her coming into our house and telling us what to do with our dogs.
He's got a real hot temper.
No, her son has a hot temper.
No. His son, she came in. His son wasn't with her.
Her son has threatened our lives.
Listen to me. When she came over for the first time to discuss this problem with you, was the first time that the problem was broached between two neighbors. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
And it was at that time that Big Mouth over here threw her out. After that, it got nasty. After that, it got nasty. But she came over to your house. She didn't send you a lawyer's letter. She didn't send her son over. She's certainly a much older woman than you are. Perhaps that's why she came over rather than sending over one of her sons, because she thought maybe if she went over there, it would be more peaceful. Right?
Well, I don't understand where she wanted us to keep our dogs.
In the house at
They
night.
are not house dogs.
The house is not a kennel, Your Honor.
Dogs. The house is not a kennel.
Maybe
theirs
Mr.
is.
Mr. Zust, let me explain something to you. Right? Dumb as the day is long. Right? You are not going to change it. The only thing that I can do is to make a statement for you. I see that you have been harassed and that you have tried to handle this problem reasonably with them. Now, you say that they have been cited at least once and gotten a ticket.
Yes.
Has anything happened as a result of that ticket?
Well, after that, I filed several barking dog
complaints.
Right, and nothing has happened because we were scared to pursue this because of his threats made against my family.
Which were when?
What difference does it make?
Well,
There was no threats.
There
We
was
got
no
a police
threats.
record
there
right
were
here
several
showing that he
threats.
threatened
There
my
was never
life.
any threats against his family.
Vice versa.
We do everything
He's
to
a big
avoid
guy. He's
them.
twice my
If you
size.
did everything to avoid
We
them,
did.
you'd bring your dogs inside at night.
Our house is not a kennel.
This is not about
We don't
Yeah,
dogs.
my
keep our
house is not a
dogs in
kennel
the house.
either. I have a dog. I bring
Your
it
Honor,
inside at night.
This is not about dogs. This is a personal vendetta it turned into.
He has,
Oh, dear,
he has
Mr.
threatened
Mr.
our
Herndon,
lives. We have a police record that shows that they came out one day that he pulled up into our driveway with his two younger brothers,
Not true.
one of which is there. He
And?
came up and he started verbally abusing my husband in front of my 5-year-old daughter.
Let me tell you something, Miss Herndon.
If that's acceptable,
I want to tell you something. That is not acceptable conduct. What is totally unacceptable is your reaction to me when I said bring your dogs in the house if you have dogs.
My house is
and
not
if
a
your,
kennel.
Your house is not a kennel?
That's right.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested,
Fine with me.
$3,500. That's all.
He's angry. He's got a miserable life. He's 23 years old and he still lives at home with his mom.
These dogs have wrecked my life for 2 years. I mean, I work full time, I go to school full time, and I can't sleep and I can't study. And it's great that she took my side.
And now the next case.
All parties on Fleming versus Sneed. Step forward, please.
21-year-old student Latasha Fleming is suing ex-fiancé, 25-year-old plant assembler Shelton Sneed for his share of a wedding that never happened.
Miss Fleming, you and the defendant were engaged. According to what I've read, the date was changed at least once because the defendant said he wasn't quite ready or whatever. But ultimately, he canceled the wedding, broke the engagement.
Right.
And you want to be reimbursed for all the, at least half of the expenses that you made towards the wedding. right?
Yes.
When did you become engaged?
November of 98.
And when did he cancel the wedding?
May 2000.
And when were you supposed to be married?
September, well, the first time April 22nd, the second time September the 2nd.
September of 2000?
Right.
No chance of that coming about?
No.
Okay. Who was making the wedding?
Me, I was.
And that was your agreement?
Right.
That you were going to pay for the wedding?
Right, most of it.
Okay. Well,
no, man, it wasn't agreeing. She wasn't going to pay for most of it. I was going to help her out a little bit.
That was very stupid of you just to say so.
Why? Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much did you pay for the ring?
I forgot. It's a whole lot of money.
Whole lot?
Yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Latasha Fleming says ex-fiancé Shelton Sneed owes her for half of what she spent on a wedding. Shelton says he told Latasha he'd give her a couple of dollars.
Let me explain this to you, Mr. Sneed, and try to make it as simple as possible, sir. In order for her to be successful in this lawsuit, she has to establish that there was an agreement between the two of you that the wedding would be paid for jointly, that each of you would contribute towards the wedding. If that was not the case, then you would have no liability. She just said that your agreement was that she was supposed to pay for the wedding. And then you sort of volunteered, no, that's not true.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
I mean...
So why don't you tell me? All right, let's go to you, Mr. Sneed. I thought this was going to be a very easy case. Maybe it'll be more difficult. What was your agreement, that you were going to share the expenses for the wedding?
No, I was going to give her a couple of dollars.
How much is a couple of dollars?
Like $200 or $300. That was it.
And you had that agreement with her that you were going to give her $200 or $300?
No, I ain't tell her I was going to give her $200 or $300. I told her I was going to give her a little bit of money.
Did he just make that up?
No, he told me he would help me when he could.
Well, that's not a contract. Miss Fleming, that is not an agreement. Did he give you an engagement ring?
Yes.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
You do? Ooh. Is it a nice ring?
Yes.
You wearing it?
No.
Is it a diamond ring?
Yes.
Why don't you sell it? He's not asking for it back.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Perfect. How much did you pay for the ring?
I forgot. It's a whole lot of money.
A whole lot?
Yeah.
Give me a round figure, sir.
I don't remember. I don't put a price on stuff like that, so I just did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Miss Fleming, I'm going to make this as simple as possible for you, madam. $3,000 is what you're suing for. I assume that you made expenditures in the amount of $6,000.
Correct.
You did?
Yes.
You think the ring is worth $3,000?
Yes.
So sell the ring. You're not asking for it back, Mr. Sneed, are you?
Yeah, I want it back, no.
Now was your chance. You didn't file a counterclaim for the ring, sir.
Oh, okay.
Sell the ring. Pay off the wedding bills. Miss Fleming.
Yes.
You're very lucky. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Year-old property manager Amy Mussolino is suing ex-boyfriend, 39-year-old health service manager Joseph Vietz, for his share of their daughter's orthodontist and therapy bills.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 147 on the calendar in the matter of Mussolino versus Vietz. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mussolino, you and the defendant had a relationship back in the early 1990s, and that relationship produced a child, Kelly, who is now 8 years old, according to your complaint. You state that the defendant is under a court order to pay 1/2 of any unreimbursed medical bills for the child, and that he has not done so, especially with regard to the child's therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Vietz, your defense is that you're not consulted, that you feel as if the child is over-medicated, but primarily your complaint is that nobody asks you anything, just asks you to write a check.
That's a lot of it.
Well, you'll tell me what the rest is in a minute. Can I see a copy of the court order, please?
Yes, ma'am. These are actually 2 court orders.
Thank you. Okay. First of all, I assume, Mr. Vietz, that you petitioned the court for a transfer of custody to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the resulting order indicates that there would be no transfer of custody to you, sir, but the court did, in fact, grant you extended visitation with the child.
Correct.
And that the court also found that there was sufficient evidence to find that you had interfered with Mr. Vietz's visitation with the child and issued you a warning.
Yes, ma'am.
The court also, in that order, clearly states that the therapist who had been treating the child was to continue as her therapist, and that the 2 of you were to cooperate with that therapy. So what's the problem, Mr. Vietz? Have you, in fact, paid the unreimbursed bills for therapy for the child?
No, ma'am, I have not.
So the onus now is upon you to convince me why this order should not, and I'm not acting as an appellate court, but unless there is something outrageous.
There is.
Well, then, I'll hear you.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, Your Honor, I need to make clear to you that I was not made aware of any outstanding bills whatsoever until I received a summons regarding those bills on May 16th, at which time I requested a bill of particulars. First off, I'm disputing $600 of orthodontist bills in the bill of particulars. Ms. Mussolino took it upon herself to select an orthodontist not covered by my good insurance. There are several available in our area. Instead of commuting 60 or 70 miles away to Richmond to one that's not covered by my insurance, she could have gone to Hampton, Newport News.
Okay. Is anything that you're suing for here about orthodontic bills? Or
Yes,
is it all
yes.
about therapy bills?
It's I have a listing.
Let me see
if
it.
you would like it.
I thought it was all therapy bills. That's what she
No,
talks
ma'am.
about, therapy bills. Okay. What's the Medical College of Virginia?
That is for orthodontists.
What did she start orthodontia for at her age?
She actually has a problem with her tongue. She has a tongue thrust problem.
She's a tongue thruster.
Right. And she not only may need braces, but she may need an appliance, which is called a tongue crib. They've actually are deciding that currently.
Why did you select the Medical College of Virginia for her treatment?
Specifically because the total price was $1,800. And the orthodontist who is covered under her insurance, which her father does provide, is $3,200.
But the $3,200 would or would not have been covered under his insurance?
No, that would be the portion which we would have to pay.
Okay. So if your complaint is, sir, that she chose somebody that wasn't covered by your insurance, that's a reasonable explanation, that she went to the Medical College of Virginia, listen to me, because it would ultimately be cheaper for both of you.
Do I have some proof of that, or is that just hearsay? If Ms. Mussolino would communicate with me so we could work things out for the betterment of our child and the bills that we have to split, perhaps we could make some progress here.
I believe her, because it would not be in her best interest, because she has to pay 50% too, to choose somebody that was more expensive rather than less expensive. Right? Doesn't make sense.
Unless you have valuable assets such as 8 years experience and friendship with a practicing orthodontist that may give you a break on the side, Your Honor.
Don't give me a break on, listen
if
to
given
me.
the opportunity.
Listen, don't give me a break on the side. Everybody saved money. If all this orthodontia is going to cost us, according to her, $900 ultimately, because the total price is $1,800, trust me, you're getting away with murder. Let's hear the rest of your complaint.
All right, Your Honor. There's also on her list of bill of particulars, you'll see a $300 bill. It was on 5/5/99. That was for the doctor to be a witness on Amy's behalf in court back in '99.
Now, is that the Psychiatric Services of Virginia? Pay attention to me. You bill him $1,155.
Yes.
Does that include $300 for a court appearance that the doctor made to testify on your behalf?
Yes, it was a court appearance. No, it was not on my behalf. She was coming as our daughter's therapist to speak about our daughter.
That's not included in the judge's order. He's absolutely correct. So I'm eliminating $300. So that brings us down to $902. What else, sir?
Your Honor, on that same sheet of paper highlighted in pink at the top and the bottom of the page, you'll see 2 bills for $50, I believe, each for family psychotherapy. The others listed I did not highlight as individual psychotherapy for my daughter, and I'm not disputing that. I'm the one that originally sought out help for my child once I learned of the trauma she had experienced.
Actually, what he's discussing, his wife took her to in July of '99. He has visitation for the entire month of July. So she did, I believe, go in and participate with therapy.
That's not correct.
Well, one of them is in July of 1999. According to the order, you have visitation all of July. Did you take the child for therapy?
When she was staying with us in July, I did have to take her one time.
You did take her? And did you speak to the therapist?
I did when they were done.
She charged you?
For talking to her after she
Yes.
saw the patient.
No.
I didn't know any idea that she did. This is the first time.
Well, she did. But that, Mr. Vietz, is covered by the order because it says that the petitioner and respondent, the two of you, are to continue to cooperate fully.
If this is family psychotherapy, Your Honor, the last time I checked, I am the father of this child. I'm family.
You should have taken her.
I'm not
Why-
allowed to. There's
No,
no,
no, no,
communication. She will...
Listen to me.
Yes.
Child was with you during July of 1999. Instead of you taking the child to the therapist, you had your wife take the child to the therapist. You should have taken the child to the therapist if you wanted to be involved.
The original appointment that I was going to take her to was rescheduled. I was not available for the next
That's not
one.
her fault.
I would
Do
like
you, do you understand what I'm saying? If something else was more important or something else more pressing, you permitted your wife to take her. If it was rescheduled and if it was not a good day for you, you should have told the doctor, I'm not available on that day and I would really like to come in to see you. Instead, you let your wife take her. Forget it.
Judge Judy continues. Amy Mussolino says ex-boyfriend Joseph Vietz owes her for his share of their daughter's medical bills. Joseph says Amy won't consult him regarding their daughter.
Okay, what's next?
Well, Your Honor, actually, this whole case...
Just a minute, I want to know if that's it with regard to money.
I'm disputing the entire thing.
Well, you can't dispute the entire thing. The entire thing is covered by a 1999 order, Mr. Vietz.
That is supposed to fully comply, fully involve both of us, which she will not do. The
Just a
order
second.
says fully.
Just a second. When was the last time you personally contacted Dr.
The last time I contacted her was the time that she told me she can give me no information whatsoever concerning my child because I'm the non-custodial parent, and that I was wasting my time, is what she had told me.
Was that before or after she appeared in court?
The same time, a day or two around the same time.
And you had a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Then if you had a lawyer, sir, your lawyer was obligated. This is what you wanted. You wanted to have total access to the child's medical, dental, and school records. That's something that is dealt with all the time in court. Either your lawyer raised that issue before the court, and the court said no, which is bizarre, or your lawyer didn't raise the issue, in which case he or she was remiss in not raising that issue, and you still have an opportunity to go back and have that issue resolved.
And I will.
And you can. So, Ms. Mussolino.
Yes.
One of the things that he is complaining about is that he's not consulted. Now, that may not be an easy thing to do because he may be resistant when you try to consult with him. But if what he is requesting is that he have access to the child's school records and medical and dental records and open communication with the child's therapist, that's a very easy thing for you to resolve even without going back to court. And then, if he doesn't avail himself of picking up the telephone and calling, that's his problem.
He's never discussed it with me.
Well, now we're discussing it. Listen, I'm trying to resolve this issue. $902 is what he owes. What I'm asking you is, are you prepared to enter into a stipulation with Mr. Vietz that permits him the same access that you have to all of the child's records?
That's fine with me.
Fine. That's what she says.
Thank
That's fine. So, sit down, do it today, right outside. It's a very simple order.
That's wonderful.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $902.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. Step out.
Cool. All this woman did was birth my child and bill me for everything.
This is the first time in 6 years which I've sought any money for anything.
And now the next case.
All parties on Goldsmith versus Red. Step forward, please.
39-year-old steelworker Richard Goldsmith is suing his ex-girlfriend, 29-year-old student Sean Red, for an unpaid loan to buy a house.
Mr. Goldsmith, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant dated for a while and lived together for a short while. She was purchasing a home, and when it came time to close, she was missing some money, about $4,000. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct.
And you loaned her $4,000.
Yes, I did.
You lived together with her in the home for a couple of months with an arrangement that you would pay her $500 a month for your share of the rent, utilities, whatever. You did not pay her that while you were together.
Right.
So you knocked off $1,000 from the loan. Then you separated, and she made one payment to you. You want the remainder, which is $3,000 less $80,000. It's your position that this was never a loan. Is that right?
Correct.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding you giving her the money.
Well, we both had an agreement to where she paid me $80 every...
Now, tell me the circumstances surrounding her telling you that she needed the money.
She was short $4,000.
Let's start out.
Okay.
She was buying a house. There came a time when she needed some extra money.
Correct.
You were sitting in the living room. You were sitting in the bedroom. You were driving in the car. Where were you when you had this discussion?
My living room, in my apartment.
Were you living together in your apartment?
Yes, we were.
How long had you been living together?
2 months.
Is that right?
Approximately 2 or 3.
Were you paying rent while you were living in his apartment?
I paid rent. I paid other bills for him. I did grocery shopping.
No, that's...
Yes, I paid rent.
How much rent did you pay? Is not an answer.
It varied.
No, if it varies, you don't vary with rent. Were you paying rent?
Yes, I was.
How much rent were you paying?
$250.
That's not true. That's a good made-up answer, but it's not true.
Right.
Of course it's true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're sitting in your living room. She said to you, I'm supposed to close my house and I'm short $4,000. You said to her, that's what I want to hear, sir. I don't want to hear about this.
I said, okay, I will lend you $4,000.
Oh, you mean I just guessed it right off the top?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Goldsmith says ex-girlfriend Sean Red owes him for a loan for the down payment on a home. Sean says Richard has threatened to burn the house down.
Okay. Let's not play with me, all right? Let's do this quickly, efficiently, with honest answers. All right, so you're sitting in your living room in the house where you had been living rent-free, according to you, 3 months. And
we had an agreement to where if she borrowed $4,000, she would pay me $80.
not an agreement. I don't want to hear agreement. I want to hear what she said to you and what you said to her.
She said she'd promised to pay me $80 every 2 weeks.
Are we missing each other?
What do you need to know?
I want to know how she told you she needed the money.
For a house payment, $4,000 short.
Are you his interpreter? I mean, I think he needs an interpreter. You're sitting in your living room.
Correct.
She said to you, honey, I have a problem. I'm supposed to close my house and I'm short $4,000. And you said to her, that's what I want to hear, sir. I don't want to hear about this.
I said, okay, I will lend you $4,000.
Oh, you mean I just guessed it right off the top? Oh, they don't pay me enough for this job.
Sure they do.
You're right. Okay. Did he give you the $4,000?
Yes, he gave me $4,000.
In check or cash?
I think it was cash.
It was check. I have the check right.
Let me see. Okay. And when you gave her the check, she agreed to pay you back.
Correct.
Tell me about the $80 that she paid you.
I went to her house and told her that I'd appreciate it if she'd come over and pay off some of her debt. So then very next day, she'd come over. My roommate, Chucky, answered the door. She handed me 4 20s. I said, hold on, I'll get you a receipt. And she flipped me off and walked to her car and left. She said, I don't want no damn receipt.
So, let's hear you.
Richard and I dated for a while. He did lend me the money after he had conveniently cleaned out my bank account and I no longer had the money for my
How did
mortgage.
you clean out your bank account?
I lent him money for all kinds of things.
Give me an example.
I paid to have his motorcycle fixed. I paid to have it fixed twice, as a matter of fact. I paid bills for Richard.
When she did pay for my motorcycle, I did pay her back.
Okay. So far, I haven't heard about any loans. So far, I just heard about what you paid for.
Well, because a relationship is give and take. He needed money, I gave it to him. I needed money, he gave it to me. After we broke up and he wasn't around the house anymore, he continuously harassed me.
I'm not interested in that. If he didn't want to harass you, you got to pay him back his money.
He wasn't harassing me for money, Your Honor. He never mentioned money until he got in trouble with the law and needed some money to pay whoever.
Well, now he's here.
I understand that, Your Honor. He harassed me constantly. He harassed my sister. He came to my house one time, told me that if I didn't open the door, he was going to burn the house down with me and my children in it.
That is such a lie.
It is not, Richard.
What difference does it make?
I come knocking out.
Shh. What difference does it make?
How was I supposed to pay him back when I had to quit my job because he would not leave me alone?
Why does one quit their job because someone doesn't leave them alone?
I was a bartender, Your Honor. You can't have a man coming in there constantly leaning over a bar screaming at you.
One time.
No, not one time, Richard.
One time.
So how did you support yourself?
I've been doing odd jobs. I'm going to school.
Going to school doesn't usually pay you a salary.
Well, but eventually in the end it will.
Oy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Okay. Now, the right thing to do is to return his money to him. I mean,
Then he should return the money that he borrowed from me.
I don't have any evidence, madam, that he borrowed any money from you. You didn't have an arrangement with him. You paid for some groceries, but it didn't work out. And if it doesn't work out, you got to pay him back his money. Bird, I have a sense that there's a lot more here than I'm going to get out of this case.
Probably so.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,920, giving you credit for the $80 that you paid him, and $1,000 for your rent. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Investment firm clerk Terry Parks is suing ex-fiancé, 21-year-old sales consultant John Woods, for bills she paid while he was in the military and for the cost of an engagement ring.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 136 on the calendar in the matter of Parks versus Woods. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Parks, you and the defendant were engaged to be married. He went off to the military. Your claim is that while he was away, you paid some bills for him. That when he came back from the military, he ended the engagement. You want to be reimbursed for the bills you paid for him, as well as your wedding expenses and a ring that you gave to him.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you become engaged?
July 98.
And when did you go into the military, sir?
September 16th of 98.
Had you been living together?
Yes.
You returned from the military when, sir?
About December.
Of 98?
Yes.
And it's the bills from September to December that you claim you paid for him?
There were others prior to, or after December that I had paid. He went in for course school after basic training.
Is that correct?
December.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when did you finally terminate the engagement?
May or June of 99.
Now, tell me about these bills that you paid for him.
Okay. He moved in with me right before we got engaged. He had his bills forwarded to my parents' address, which we were living, right before he went into the military service. When he went in, the first bill came, and it was kind of hard to contact him. There was no connection.
What bill was that?
The first one was some BMG music bills. They were small, but the big first one was his associate's credit card bill.
AT&T.
Yeah, AT&T, which was $496.78.
So what did you do?
You
couldn't reach him?
No, I couldn't reach him. I decided to pay it off,
And as soon as I could get an email or an address from him, I would write him telling him the bills that I paid off and that I would expect him to pay me back. And I have here a list of the bills that I paid and the letter and his letter returning to me saying that he would pay me back.
How did you get a copy of this letter?
Before he returned to corps school, he gathered up all his letters that I gave to him when he was in basic training and had me hold on to them for him.
Okay. So this is what we have, Mr. Woods. You are absolutely correct in your answer when you say that she chose to pay your bills, and she did that voluntarily. She acknowledges that she did that initially, but then you agreed to pay her back.
I was thinking at the time, I mean, I was still very grateful that she did pay him. But I was thinking I was going to come back home, we were going to get married, we'd have... Because we'd also talked about before that, you know, we were going to have the same... Our bills were going to be our bills. The money that we made together was going to pay off these bills. I didn't never expect to come home and what happened, happened.
I'm sorry about all my bills that you're getting. You didn't have to pay off the whole thing, just the minimum payment. She didn't have to make the minimum payment. But clearly that's what you had expected. Don't worry, I will give you the money. I will help you with money when I get into a school, because you had some other bills that you were going to pay.
Right.
That they took out. So clearly, you tell her back in October of 1998, okay, that you were going to reimburse her for this money. Relying on what you say here, she continues to pay your bills because you promised to pay her back. Right?
Right.
Now, so that's point number one. Point number two, sir, is that you say that you didn't anticipate that this was going to happen. You anticipated getting married and that your money would be joint money. It would be there as joint money to pay off bills, but you wouldn't even think about it. So what do we have now? No engagement, no marriage, your bills are paid with her money. Is that fair?
That's not fair.
So why didn't you start paying her back some money?
I wanted to, but I mean, we were still together at the time. Before we had broken up, I mean, we got in, her parents, or her mom, had gone through all my stuff, and just without me being there, gone through all my papers, all my paperwork, and found letters, and just told me to move everything out of the house the next day.
Found letters to whom?
It was a letter from another female to me that I had met in boot camp, a close friend of mine, and we had gone really close, and what we had in Chicago, we had left in Chicago. I had every intent of coming back home and marrying Terry. And I still had feelings for her, but what I had done in Chicago, I left in Chicago. But her mom had gone through all my stuff, found letters, I mean, even little notebooks, and circled stuff in little notebooks and read and wrote names and words on it. And the next day, they asked me to get all the stuff out of the house. I mean,
so what you're telling me is you had not been faithful while you were in Chicago.
Right.
Her mother noodled around and found that out. So you're blaming her mother. Duh. That's what mothers are supposed to do. You think she wants her daughter to marry somebody who travels a couple of 100 miles away, messes around, and then just wants to forget it? I'm going to forget that. I'm going to come home and be a good boy. Good for you. And smart for you.
Thank you.
I once told one of my children during their engagement, I want you to know something about this time in your life. This is as good as it gets. There's more affection, more interest, more doting than any other time. You have fewer problems during this engagement period. You know, you don't have joint bills and kids and in-laws and everything else that tend to impact on that romance that you have. So if you got a problem now, it's only going to get worse.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Ex-fiancé John Woods owes her for paying his bills while he was in the military and for an engagement ring.
Let's get to the wedding bills, because there is no real clear-cut legal decision with regard to the wedding bills. Your wedding dresses, your bridesmaid dresses, and that sort of thing. You think that you have any responsibility whatsoever, at least partial responsibility, for the expenses that she incurred towards the wedding?
No, ma'am.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because before we had even broken up completely, I had asked for the ring back. She didn't have to give it back, but she did. And from there, we were still dating afterwards, and we had already planned to push the wedding about a year later.
But she had already taken care of these dresses, David's bridal final payment in October.
Right.
That's before. You're still in Chicago, being unfaithful, while she's paying for the wedding dress. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did you find these letters, these Chicago letters that he wrote to somebody else? In what month?
In June.
In June?
Of 99.
Oh, well, David's bridal was in March of 99. So you're still going full speed ahead with the wedding plans.
Right.
So now I'm going to ask you again. There were certain wedding expenses that she had. Why don't you think you're responsible for at least half of those wedding expenses that she incurred during the time that she really thought that you were going to get married and only you knew that you had been messing around?
Because, I mean, for the bridesmaids' dresses, I always thought that the bridesmaids bought their own dresses. And honestly,
Did they?
They're supposed to.
All but 3.
What do you mean all but 3?
One had to be shipped out to Texas, and the 3 girls that could not make it to the shop with me, I paid for at that time.
Which they should have paid you in return.
By the way, did you end up marrying Chicago?
No.
You still with Chicago?
No.
You left it in Chicago?
Yes. I haven't talked to her since Chicago.
Okay. Just some words of advice, Mr. Woods. You burn letters that you don't want somebody to find.
I learned that.
Keeping them makes a statement. Okay. He is not responsible for the ring. He is responsible for only half the cost. I believe that that's fair. Half the cost of what you laid out for a wedding that subsequently didn't come off, even if it wasn't his fault. In this case, it was. So I'm deducting that from your total amount of bills that you are submitting, none of which he disputes. He just says he didn't ask you to pay him. He may not have asked you to pay him, but he told you that he would repay you, and based on that, you continued to pay the bills for months after that. So I am not awarding you the full amount of your request, which was some $2,400, but I am awarding you $1,908.20. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Before things happened, our parents were always in our relationship. I mean, personal things, I mean, our sexual relationship. The whole family always knew about it because of her mother.
I wasn't that meddling, but I smelled a rat, so I went looking for evidence. And I did, I found it.
I heard her bad. I didn't want her to get all the money, but I feel I was responsible for the bills that she paid, so hopefully she's happy with the money she got.
Always listen to your mother.
And now the next case.
All parties on Kramer versus Cornejo. Step forward, please.
16-year-old William Kramer Jr. and his father, William Sr., are suing 15-year-old student Giovanni Cornejo and his mother, San Juana Cornejo. William Jr. says Giovanni stole his CD collection when he stole his car.
Who are you?
I'm his parent, his
Why
father.
don't you have a seat, please? You're his mother?
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat, please? Mr. Kramer, you went to work according to your complaint at 5 p.m. on December 21st,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you parked your car in the parking lot,
Yes.
and the defendant stole your car.
Yes.
You admit that you stole his car.
Yes.
What time did you steal his car?
It was between the hours of 9 to 11, somewhere around there,
Why did you steal his car?
to get to a different city.
Well, where were you going?
Grand Rapids. It was a different city.
And you didn't have a car?
I got a license.
You didn't have a license, you didn't have a car, so you took his. Okay. And there came a time when you were stopped by the police?
Excuse me?
There came a time when you were stopped by the police?
Yes.
And what time was that?
I don't know. I don't know the times. I didn't know what time was it.
Has your case been disposed of in the criminal court?
No.
What do you mean no?
What do you mean by
Did you plead guilty?
Yes, I plead guilty.
Then it's been disposed of.
Yes.
Were you placed on probation?
Yes.
For how long?
About 3 months, 4 months.
Was this your first arrest?
Yes.
And according to your complaint, Mr. Kramer, when you got your car back, there was some CDs missing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Corneo says that he stole your car, but not your CDs.
Yes.
When were you notified that they had found your car?
It was about 11 p.m.
And where were you called, at home or at work?
I was at work. The police came and got me, and they escorted me to where the car was.
How far away from your place of employment was it?
It was about 20 minutes away. I don't know exactly the mileage.
And when you got there, did you find Mr. Corneo there?
Yes.
And your car?
Yes.
Okay. And your car was stopped because of a tail light or something?
Broken headlight.
And you looked at the car at that time, you didn't see anything else missing?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This is sort of an apology, but I hope you've learned your lesson that you should watch out how you handle your keys the next time.
Your Honor, his keys were right there in the ignition.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old William Kramer Jr. says 15-year-old Giovanni Cornejo stole his car and his CD collection.
Mr. Corneo, from the time you stole this car, I want you to tell me where you went.
Stole the car, and then I went to this gas station, I think in Byron Center.
Yes?
We went to the gas station, and I was on my way to...
You went to the gas station for what?
To put in some gas. He was almost on empty.
Okay.
So
Is that true?
Yes.
Fine. So you went to the gas station,
Yes.
filled up the car.
I didn't fill it up. I put $8 in.
And then where did you go?
From there, I was going through Grand Rapids, and we decided to go to this new mall that they just built.
A new mall. Who's we?
Me and my partner. He was there with me.
Your partner, your business partner?
No, not a business partner, a friend.
So you and your friend decided to go to a mall. Did you in fact go to the mall?
No, we got pulled over before.
So you only made one stop,
Yes.
and the one stop was to put gas in the car.
Yes.
Now when you got stopped, was your friend in the car with you?
Yes.
Was your friend arrested also?
Yes.
Did you in fact see any of Mr. Kramer's CDs?
I did see one CD. My friend said it was corn. I wasn't sure, so I went with corn. But we threw it back into the back seat, which I didn't find anything else. And we didn't see anything else. He says he ain't seen nothing.
Now did you have a CD named Corn?
Yes, I did.
Did you find that in the back of the car?
Yes, that was there. It was just empty, loose in the back of the car, in the back seat.
Well, that's what he says. He said he took it and he threw it in the back seat. I assume that you, once you got the car home, you went through an inventory. Is that right?
No, it was pretty late. I got it home around 3, then I went to bed. But the next morning I did.
Is that when you found the CDs missing?
Yes.
Other than the fact that Mr. Corneo stole your car, do you have any other evidence that he did in fact steal your CDs?
I have an apology here from him.
Can I see it?
Yeah. And there he states he doesn't listen to my...
Let me read it. Just a minute. This is sort of an apology, sort of. You say to Mr. Kramer in your letter of apology, which I assume you were ordered by the court to write?
Yes.
Of course. I love this judge. I have one thing to say to you, is that I hope you've learned your lesson, that you should watch out how you handle your keys the next time.
Your Honor, I didn't mean it as in, like, he was a dummy, he's doing it. I just meant it just because...
Where were his keys?
His keys were right there in the ignition.
That's not too clever. Was his car open?
Yes, it was open.
It was unlocked, but not... Doors weren't open.
But it was unlocked?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Kramer, you parked your car in the parking lot and you left the car unlocked. And you were gone from your car for at least several hours before Mr. Corneo stole your car.
Yes.
Anybody could have gone in the car and taken your CDs, sir.
Yes.
Right?
But in there he says he doesn't listen to my kind of music, so you would have to have seen the CDs in there
Well,
to
he
check
saw
what kind of
he
music.
saw one. He said he took out a corn. I never heard of that. Do you ever hear of corn?
Yeah.
I must be living on another planet, at least in another millennium.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You, Mr. Kramer, have to learn to be more careful with your property because it is possible that somebody didn't steal your car, but opened the car door and took your CDs. Now, where were they?
Under the passenger seat,
In a box?
in a case holder.
What do you mean here? I know that my boy didn't take them either.
My friend. I know. He told me that he ain't take them. I ain't see him take them at all.
No, I don't think you took them. I don't think you took them. I think somebody may have taken them, sir. All right, in any event, Mr. Kramer, there is insufficient evidence for me to find that he, in fact, did steal this property, so I must dismiss your complaint. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kathy Jones and her husband, Robert Jones, are suing Kathy's ex-husband, 39-year-old delivery man, Louis Serpa, for his share of their daughter's graduation expenses.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Jones versus Serpa. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Jones, the defendant is your former husband. Co-plaintiff is your present husband. When were you divorced from the defendant?
1982.
1982?
1992.
1992. And how many children do you have together?
3.
How old are they?
One's going to be 18, one's going to be 16, and one's going to be 13.
The 18-year-old is a girl?
Yes, she is.
Lives with you?
Yes, she does.
Where do the other 2 children live?
My 16-year-old daughter lives with me, and my son lives with my husband, ex-husband.
So the 2 minor children are split up.
Right.
Your lawsuit seeks half of your daughter's, your 18-year-old daughter's, graduation expenses, her gown, her prom tickets. Right now, there is a court order that says neither one of you are responsible for the support of the children because each of you has a minor child living with you. Is that
Correct.
right? Was there an agreement between the 2 of you to share these high school graduation expenses?
Yes, there was.
Well, tell me about the agreement.
I never agreed to anything.
Just a minute. She's going to tell me. I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I asked Louis if he could help me out with some of the expenses. He told me he would send me a couple $100s in a couple weeks, and he never did. And then he told me that Jennifer was no longer his responsibility.
Okay. So according to you, at best, he said to you, I'll send you a couple of $100.
That's what he
That's
said.
$200.
All I wanted him to do was help me out.
Okay. Well, my concern is that you're suing him for $500.
Because now I'm suing for half, because, you know, he is a biological father. He should at least help.
Yeah, we just basically wiped out our savings account and everything else through, you know, for this whole prom and graduation thing and everything else. And
Mr. Jones, one of the things that concerned me in Mr. Serpa's answer was that you chose his daughter's graduation from high school as the time to serve him with a small claims suit.
that's right.
Why did you do that?
Well, because he lives in Bakersfield and we're in Sacramento, and otherwise we'd have to pay to have him served. And he's a truck driver. You know, it's hard to truck.
Well, how much do you think it would cost you to have him served?
I'm not sure what they charge. I think it's like $35 or something like that. Down.
Right, to have him served.
But then the sheriff's
Right.
got to track him down and everything else.
Just a minute. Not so hard to track him down. You have an apartment,
I have a house.
and you have a 13-year-old living with you.
Yes.
It's not so hard to track him down.
But Louis is not there all the time.
I don't care whether he's there all the time or not. Who was present when you served him with these papers?
My 16-year-old daughter.
My 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
And what about the graduate?
She was already down coming in. She didn't know that it was being done.
But it was done in front of the other 2 children.
Right.
That was a big mistake. You don't inflict your anger on an event that's supposed to be a joy for children by serving their father with a small claim suit. I assume the small claim suit was for the graduation expenses.
Yeah, and prom.
They actually used my 16-year-old daughter because she came over with one of his friends, and she introduced me to him, and then he served me with the paperwork.
What had you told your 16-year-old daughter about this person?
No, this was a neighbor of ours across the street that served the papers.
Did you tell your 16-year-old that her father was going to be served with papers by this person?
Yeah.
She knew.
Well, tell me what you told her. Who spoke to her?
Well, you mean when she went up to introduce
No.
our neighbor
Listen,
to her?
Before you got to the graduation, there had to be a plan, a plot.
Actually, no, she didn't know it at the time. When we got there, we didn't know how to get the papers to him, so I asked Laura if she wouldn't mind taking Rodney over there, because Rodney wanted to see Nick anyway.
Okay. If she wouldn't mind taking Rodney, your next-door neighbor, over to her father.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Rodney gave him the papers.
So is now what you're telling me that your daughter did not know he was going to give him the papers?
She knew. I mean, she didn't want to go over there, but she did it anyway.
What do you mean she didn't want to go over there?
Well, because she just hesitated, but she went over there to take
What do you
Rodney
mean she
over there.
hesitated? She didn't hesitate. She said something to you. She said, I don't want to do this?
No.
What did she say?
She just kind of gave me that look like, well, Mom, but she went. But she didn't say nothing. She just did
sounds
it.
like a good kid to me. You had no right to do that. You people are not doing the right thing to your children. You're not.
Neither is he.
No. This was a very bad thing to do to your children. This was a very bad thing, far worse than a couple $100 for a prom dress or a graduation ring or anything else. It's a far worse thing to enlist the aid of your 16-year-old who really didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be involved with it. You made her a co-conspirator in what you decided to do, which was to serve him papers on the date of your daughter's graduation. There isn't a question in my mind that your 18-year-old who graduated knew about what had happened. She may have known about it afterwards.
She knew before. She told me that was going to happen.
She told you that it was going to happen.
She knew that you were going to get served papers, but she didn't know when that day.
She didn't know it was that day. She
Right.
just knew it was going to happen.
So you think that she was happy or not happy when she found out that her father was served on her graduate?
Well, I'm sure she wasn't happy about it.
So why did you do it?
I didn't have any other way to give it to him.
Of course you did. You mean you don't
Am I
see a
supposed to drive
13-year...
down there and give it to him?
Absolutely. If it's a choice between doing it on graduation day and getting in a car and driving down with your next-door neighbor and serving him with the papers, that's what you do.
But then we got to go through the
I
problem
wasn't
of
happy
trying to
about
find
it being
him
done
and
that
trying to
day.
track him down. I mean, he was already in Sacramento. He was there, you know. That's
Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
it's just that there's no way of tracking him down, you know. I mean,
no comment.
My daughter was really just devastated about me getting served. I went down after graduation, I told her, and she was really devastated. She was hurt.
And now the next case.
All parties on Coleman versus Smith. Step forward, please.
20-year-old sales rep Shireen Coleman is suing her former landlord, 63-year-old retired secretary Gloria Smith, for slander, harassment, and invasion of privacy. Gloria is countersuing for harassment, mental anguish, and destruction of property.
Ms. Coleman, you rented a piece of property, residential property, from the defendant and claimed that she turned out to be the landlady from hell. According to you, she slandered you, she maligned you, she invaded your privacy. Ms. Smith, on the other hand, said that you were really a problem tenant and that the only time that you filed a lawsuit against her was after she had moved to have you evicted. When did you move to have her evicted?
On the 9th of June.
Has that matter been heard
Oh,
yet?
yes, the sheriff has already posted the property on June 13th.
What does that
or
mean?
July
posted?
13th.
What does that mean?
That means that they came out and gave the property back to me. They moved out that morning.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
When did you move in?
We moved in the 19th, which was a Friday.
Of May?
Yeah. I have the rental agreement here, as well as the receipt for the money paid.
Okay. She doesn't say that you didn't pay the rent. Is
That's
that
right.
right?
That's right.
There's no dispute about that. So you tell me what your problems were with her that you believe a court would compensate you for.
Okay. She slandered me, Your Honor, to my own boss. Okay. This is my employer right here. She called me a drug addict. She told me that I was a lowlife.
Wait 1 second. She didn't tell this to you. She told this to your boss.
Correct.
Okay. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Donna Stewart.
You want to tell me about a conversation that you had with the defendant?
Shireen called me to come over and be with her to pay the rent for a witness because she had been giving her a hard time. She gave me the cash for the rent. I wrote a check to her. When we went over, their neighbors, right next door to each other, she started screaming. They were drug addicts, losers. They couldn't make any money. The boss had to pay the bills.
Didn't you find it odd that Miss Coleman asked you to go with her to pay her rent?
No.
Why not?
Because I know the story. It goes back before that.
Right, because there was a pre-existing situation that existed between these two people.
Yes.
So it is peculiar to have somebody come with you to ask you to pay your rent.
Yes.
Of course. So that they had a problem before. Now, were you aware of the fact that Miss Smith wanted Miss Coleman out of the property?
No, not at that time.
Well, she did want you out of the property, correct?
This was before that.
Miss Coleman, what kind of problem did you fear when you went to hand her the rent check?
That she wasn't going to accept my rent for some
Right.
reason.
Right. If she wasn't going to accept your rent check, then you must have known that she wanted you out of the premises, right?
Yes.
What led you to believe that?
Because her actions toward us...
Why don't you just have a seat? Because this guy's got ants in his pants. He's
Well, no,
dying to get up here.
I
Why
lived
don't
there
you
with her. I lived there with her.
This is my
And
fiance.
the problem was the day that we tried to pay the rent, I removed the fascia board on the bottom of the house. Okay, when I removed the board, the stucco on the house fell all the way down to the chicken wire. We have pictures of it here to show you. When I did that, I told Gloria that I couldn't fix it. She needed to get a professional to repair it. She said she was going to repair it with a can of concrete fix-all and some newspaper in there. So therefore
that stuff off for?
She asked me to remove it. We were going to repair it and
That's
paint.
before.
This is pictures of it before I took it off.
And here's pictures after.
And here's pictures after I took it off. That was in the agreement that we were going to remove them, paint, and apply new ones.
And what date was this?
The day we paid our rent, the next rent.
It was the 5th of June. This was before that we received the eviction notice.
Okay, and Lee had approached me and asked me for the rent.
Okay. Now, Miss Smith, did you, in fact, do you acknowledge, in fact, that you said to this lady when she went to give you the check that she and or her boyfriend were drug addicts?
I never had a conversation with her. She only brought over a check on June 20th. After the eviction time, she brought a cop with her and demanded me to come get the rent. And then she says, do I have to take you to court to force you to take the rent money?
No. Okay.
And I have the police report.
Well, this could be resolved by showing, you say that you went to pay the rent on June 5th.
Which I have the
Show
receipt
me either
for.
the canceled check of June 5th.
Here's the receipt from Miss Smith.
From Gloria and Lee.
Yeah.
It was June 20th.
Because Lee had given us the receipt to
problem
begin
was-
with. And I said I needed a receipt from Gloria because Lee didn't have nothing to do with our rental agreement, landlord, co-owner, nothing. So therefore...
This is dated June 5th for $150, and there's another one dated June 5th for another $150.
There's one for the 19th, ma'am.
When Lee accepted the check, he marked cash, and he signed it. I further asked Gloria, can you please sign it? Because you had told me previously you didn't want him on...
How much was your whole rent?
Our whole
$700.
rent for the first month was $550. She offered to break it up in 2 payments, $400 on the 20th and $150 on the 5th, for the first month only.
So far, is that correct?
So far, that's right.
Okay. Because I do have a check for $400 on the 19th, and I have a receipt, $150, 2 payments of $150 on the 5th of June.
Right, there's only one payment though.
Okay. So how much was the check that you gave her?
150?
Yes.
Yes.
150?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you did have a conversation with her?
No. They
Never.
brought me over the check. I have not talked with that lady except to tell her to get off my property when they came onto my property illegally.
Who came onto your property?
Miss Alvarez and her husband climbed over my fence that's marked posted, no trespassing.
That's not
true.
And I have witnesses to that effect.
Where?
Well, they couldn't come today because
Then I'm not
I have
interested. Then I'm not interested.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're fibbing, Miss Smith.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
What was the problem that you were having with these people when they moved in? I mean,
When they first moved in, they seemed very nice. I mean, they come across that way. Within a couple of days, they even admit they partied during the middle of the night.
What do you mean they admit that they partied during the night?
Well, they said they were out there laughing, joking, and drinking in the middle of the night. They played a joke on the neighbor behind the house. And there's a little green light that they had on when they first moved in.
Yeah.
And the police said, that's a warning light, you better get rid of them, because that can mean illegal activity in the police terminology, and I could lose my home.
Barbecue is a party, Your Honor? I mean, we sat out in the bar, on the patio and had barbecue and drank beer, yes. This is one of our neighbors, if I could call her, please.
Ms. Tana up? She is one of our neighbors who live across the way. She is also a witness to Mrs. Smith's previous activities with all of her neighbors. Every tenant that comes in there,
I don't want to hear
evicted.
about. I only want to hear about you.
Okay. And she
She's the one that
lives
she's
across
witnessed.
the way.
Go ahead,
Your
Donna,
Honor,
please.
if I may.
No, just a minute. Are you related to any of these people?
No.
You're just a neighbor. And how long have you been a neighbor of the defendants?
I lived in the duplexes across the way.
Okay.
And I've been there about almost going on 2 years.
Okay. You have anything to contribute to this case?
When we first moved in, she'd put a note on our car for destruction of property, was going to have us arrested.
I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about this lady. Did you ever hear the defendant slander Miss Coleman?
Yes, she was yelling about being the drug addicts.
You heard that?
Yes.
When?
There was like 2 occasions.
Who was she yelling at?
At people that was like coming in and from her yard. I mean, just standing out there hollering.
Okay. You have a cause of action here, Miss Coleman, for invasion of privacy.
That's correct.
Okay. You want to explain that to me?
She has seen Miss Tanner in my home when I am not there.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
On which date?
You know, I don't know the exact date. I always sit out on my front step, and I seen her go inside of the house when they were not there. But I didn't know.
Okay, but you don't know whether she had asked for permission or not?
No, that's why I
Because you
didn't.
don't know the dates.
Right.
Ms. Coleman, did you in fact give permission to the defendant to go into your apartment on certain dates to do repairs?
She gave me the 24-hour notice, and on those days I was home the whole time that she said she would be there. She never came in. Other than that, I have not given her permission to enter my house.
Your Honor, there's something I'd like to say about her witness, if I may. She was subpoenaed by the Superior Court of Riverside to appear in court on my behalf because this is the second tenant she's gone to court to lie for.
I'm not so sure she's lying. I'm not so sure that either one of you has a cause of action. And I'm not so sure that you weren't permitted to go into the apartment, whether she was home or not, to do repairs. But I am concerned, Ms. Smith, quite frankly, about the statement that I do believe that because of perhaps something that you heard from the police about a green light as being cause of illegal activity, and they had a green light outside of their house, that you, in fact, said to other people that the plaintiff and or her fiancé were drug addicts. I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Oh, no, I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Well, I'm the judge.
I know.
I'm the judge. And I'm telling you,
but-
you look like a very nice lady, but I believe you got mad, and I believe that you called them drug addicts to other people, and you have no right to do that. You have a right to take them to court, and you have the right to have them evicted, which you did. The only thing that I am going to address here is the issue of slander.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There is some defense to slander if the accusation that you made, which was calling them drug addicts, was true. So if you wish to tell me what proof you had that either of these two people were drug addicts, then that's a defense. You want to tell me?
Well, they admitted they were doing drugs when they moved in.
Who did they admit that to?
To Lee and I.
Let
But
me
they
hear
wanted
that.
a second chance.
Let me hear that. Come on, let me hear it. I want to hear
They
it.
just says we've been doing drugs, but we're trying to get clean.
That is not true, Your Honor.
And to give them a second
Somebody
chance.
Why would someone who comes to rent a house from you tell you, unless you were taking them in from a facility, shh, quiet, Miss Smith, come and tell you that they were both recovering drug addicts and they wanted a second chance?
Because we told them we did not allow anyone who were doing drugs on the property.
So were you telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs? That was a statement that you made for them, to them, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're
cleaning
fibbing,
our
Miss Smith. You're fibbing. Big time. Maybe a nice lady, but a nice lady who's not telling the truth. And I find that you did, in fact, you may have had cause to evict them. You have an absolute right to go to court and have your property returned to you, which you did. You have no right, without proof, to call somebody a drug addict to their employer or to a neighbor. And on that charge alone, I'm awarding the plaintiffs $2,000. That's all. Thank you,
Parties
Judge.
are
Thank
excused. You may step out.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues. 26-year-old limousine company owner Tom Wetzel is suing 25-year-old paralegal Anita Santiano Tom claims Anita owes him for 7 hours of limo service. Anita says Tom's driver left them stranded.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 105 on the calendar in the matter of Wetzel versus Santillano. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Wetzel, you own a limousine?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, you were contacted by the defendant to drive a group of her friends around for a birthday party.
That's correct.
According to you, you got stiffed for the fee.
That is also correct.
How much was the arranged fee with the defendant?
The amount was for a flat rate of $500 for the evening, for the time that the car was reserved for.
And how many hours are you supposed to be working?
This reservation was made from 7 p.m. till 2:30 in the morning, which is about 7.5 hours.
And were you driving that night?
No, ma'am. I am the company owner, and Gene Mosier here is one of the drivers that was my witness.
You were driving that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please. What is your last name?
Mosier.
So where did you pick up the defendant?
Huntington Beach.
Did you pick up other people with her at the same time?
When I got to the apartment, there were other people there, yes.
How many other people?
I think the count was around 8.
All women?
There was, I think, 7 women and 1 guy.
Had you received any payment thus far from her?
No, ma'am. How we normally do it is we take a credit card, a number over the phone to reserve the vehicle.
Is that what you did in this case?
Yes, we did, and that confirms the reservation.
Okay. And whose credit card was it?
The name that we have is hers, Anita's, and the card number was a Visa.
Was that your card and your card number?
Yes.
So that confirmed the reservation?
Yes. But the balance is supposed to be paid actually in cash at the time of the pickup.
Okay. And what happened when you picked her up with regard to payment?
Well, when I...
7 women and 1 guy.
Okay. When I picked her up, I went up to her apartment, met Anita, met her friends, seemed very nice, and regarding payment, she told me that her boyfriend was going to pay for it on his credit card.
And what did you say?
I said that would be fine.
Did you get the credit card?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because how it was supposed to work out, I was supposed to pick it up at her boyfriend's work and get it from him.
Was that the first stop or the second stop?
This was the 3rd stop.
So what was your first stop?
My first stop was at a friend of hers, friend to pick her up.
So now there are 9 passengers.
Correct.
Second stop.
The second stop was at a restaurant, which was Gordon and Biersch.
And what happened there?
At that point, I dropped the clients off, and I was going to her boyfriend's work to get his credit card number.
What time did you drop them off?
I dropped them off at around 8 o'clock.
When were you supposed to pick them up?
I was just going to get his credit card number and then come back to the restaurant and wait.
So did you go to the boyfriend's restaurant?
Yes, I did.
And is boyfriend here? Is that... No boyfriend here. They're fungible. They come and go.
That's true.
Did you get the boyfriend's credit card?
Yes, I did.
And he was aware of the process?
Yes.
This was for a birthday party?
Yes.
How old are you?
25.
Was this for your 25th birthday?
Yes.
And you went back to the restaurant. What time did they exit the restaurant?
They exited the restaurant, it was between 9:45 and 10 o'clock.
Anything unusual when they exited the restaurant?
Nothing unusual. I mean, they had a lot to drink at that night, so it's nothing usual.
Nothing unusual?
Nothing unusual, yes.
Where did you go at 10 o'clock?
At 10 o'clock, the plan was to drop them at her boyfriend's work, which he owns a billiard hall and a nightclub, and they were going to finish off the evening there.
So did you go there at 10 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
But the problem that we had in the beginning of the night, which I think Gene forgot to mention, is about when they got in the car. We have a policy in my vehicles that there's absolutely no smoking in the vehicles at all. Under no circumstances, no money to be bought. We do not smoke in the vehicles.
Is that posted anywhere?
It is posted on the contract, which gets signed before the run starts.
Let me see the contract.
And this was kind of one of the issues that created
Okay.
a problem at the beginning of the night.
Okay. When did the defendant sign this contract?
At the beginning of the evening.
Was that in her apartment or downstairs?
In her apartment.
Okay. So there was a problem with smoking in the vehicle. When did that start?
That started right after I picked her up at her apartment. They lit up a cigarette once. And at that point, I turned off the vehicle and asked them nicely not to smoke.
And did you have any further problem with that?
Yes, I did.
When?
About 10 minutes after I told them not to, I looked back there and I noticed a pipe a girl that was pulling out of her purse. And right before she started to light it, I told her, please don't smoke. At that point, I thought it was a good time to pull the client aside. So when we got to her friend's house, I got everybody in the car and asked Anita if I could talk to her. And I basically said, Anita, please do not smoke.
And what did she say to you?
She said, fine, Gino, I'll take care of it.
And was there any further problem?
Not until the end of the evening.
Okay, well, let's go back to dropping them all off at the boyfriend's billiard parlor.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I dropped them off there, and I waited, and they were having a good time. And about 12, I think it was 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm not real sure, Anita came out and asked me, she said, Gino, could you do me a favor and take 4 of my friends home and then come back and pick us up? I said, no problem, I'll do that. At that point, as I get them in the car and we're driving along, once again, someone is lighting a cigarette in my car. So once again, I tell them, please do not smoke. And from that point on, I got to Huntington Beach, opened up the car door, and found someone got sick in my car.
You mean threw up?
Threw up in my car, yes. At that point, what I was thinking from there, that the run needed to be terminated, okay, because it just seems like they weren't doing what I was saying at all. So my game plan from there was to go leave Huntington Beach, go to...
You dropped off the 4 girls?
Yes, I did. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. From there, I went to the Plush Pocket, and my first thing to get Anita and get her boyfriend, pull them aside and let them know what has happened.
So what time did you get back there?
I got back there at about 1:40, 1:35.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled Anita aside and her boyfriend, told her that we had a problem. From there, showed her what happened, told her that the gal smoked one more time, and I was not going to take them any further. At that point, she was very upset, had a lot of obscenities to say. She was very angry and said, forget it, we'll take a cab, we'll take you to court, that's it.
What about the comment she made for her?
She made a comment, and I'll still remember, she actually said that, Tommy, your owner, can out of my...
Nice.
Yeah. So I was thinking, oh, this is real good night. From there, I noticed that she's in the front seat of my car. I didn't think much of it. I thought she was looking for her purse. Got everything out, driving down the freeway, and I'm almost back to the garage, and I noticed that my credit card slip is gone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Tom Wetzel and his driver, Gene Mosier, say Anita Santiano and her friends were out of control during a limo ride.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, I made the reservation with Tom here, and when I made the reservation, I told him that my boyfriend at the time is the one that was buying me this limo for my birthday. So I didn't think I was responsible for payment at all. When Gino got to my house and picked us up, he asked me to sign this, and I did not read it. I thought it was just to confirm that I was being picked up and everything.
That's your problem.
So, right. So I signed it, and we went to dinner. We picked up more passengers, and we went to Plush Pocket. He did get the imprint of his credit card number, so everything was fine at that point. One of my girlfriends did throw up in the car, and she's not here today, but one of the girls that were in the car with her is here. And he did come back to me and tell me that he was ending the ride. And I said, you can't do that. We still have, at that time, we still had about 2 hours left.
No. What time did he get back?
I don't quite remember, but I'm
Well, he
guessing
said-
around 1.
Well, if you don't quite remember, he said it was between 1:30 and 1:40. So you had another hour left on the car. Go ahead.
He came into the club.
Let's talk about the smoking first. There signs posted in there that say no smoking?
It's on the contract, which I just read, but there's no signs in the car that I noticed.
Did he ask you to stop smoking?
Yes,
in the
and I
car?
told everybody that was with me in the car to stop, and we stopped.
You mean nobody's picked up a cigarette or a pipe to light again?
No, after the first time he told us, yes, someone did try and light something else, and he told me, and that's when he pulled me aside and he told me no smoking, and I said, okay, I took care of it. I told all the girls, no smoking, you know, this is my car, don't do this. So everybody obliged, and they did not.
Except the 4 that he took back.
Right.
Who were pretty drunk at that time, according to you.
Right.
According to you, everybody was pretty drunk.
Yes.
So he comes back, he drops off your friends.
So I was
comes
not in
back.
the car when they were smoking,
I
otherwise they
understand.
wouldn't have done that.
Well, you're responsible.
Right. So he came back, and he came into the club, and he got me and my boyfriend, and Gino took me out to show me the car. There was a little vomit, maybe about that big, on the leather seat, which could have just wiped off with a towel. I'm not saying that it was okay for that to happen.
So did you go and get a towel and wipe it off?
No, I did not get back in the car at all.
Well, who'd you expect to clean that up?
I told him I was willing to pay the $350 to clean up, which says in the contract, which is $350 for the cleanup. And I said I'd be more than happy to pay that. I just want to ride home because I'm with a lot of my girlfriends and we've been drinking freely all night, knowing that we had to ride home.
Right.
And we're a half hour from home.
Yes.
And he refused to drive us home at that point. He did not offer us a ride.
Did you say what he said you said to him?
I don't recall.
Because you were drunk. Because you were drunk.
Yes.
Oh.
It was my birthday.
Anita.
Turned 25.
You expect him to be out this money? Did you go into the front seat of the car and pick up the slip?
Actually, that was not me. That was my boyfriend.
Is he still your boyfriend?
No.
You're stuck. You signed the contract, Anita. You're the client. That's what it says.
He left us girls stranded.
Who cares?
So therefore, he did not fulfill his side of the contract.
No.
His contract.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to continue if there are unforeseen circumstances. If you got a bunch of drunken girls who are vomiting all over his car, who don't know at your age how to comport themselves as young women, he doesn't have to continue a run and jeopardize both himself and the people in the car. And the people in the car.
Does it say that in the contract? He told me at the time he was ending the run, he says it states in the contract.
I asked you if you recall using the language that he attributes to you that evening, and you said to me, I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Because you were too drunk.
Yes.
I wouldn't take a bunch of drunken sots 5 minutes. You owe him the money. All the money. $850. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Your Honor. Parties are excused. You may step out.
He did not drive us home, and he left us all stranded looking for a ride home.
Judge Judy, obviously, great decision. We're happy with it.
I think it's ridiculous.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hall versus Bejan. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Mark Hall is suing 23-year-old customer service rep Andre Bejan for wrecking his car during a night of drinking.
The only people I want standing here are the people that were in the car that night. Everybody was in the car. You were all there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. According to what I've read, the 5 of you were all out drinking that night.
That's correct.
Everybody drinking and everybody pretty drunk. Fair statement?
It's fair. Fair.
You were driving.
That's correct.
Driving while drunk.
Maybe.
Driving when you shouldn't have been.
Correct.
And you left this club, and you were all slobbering together in the car. You decided to go home.
Yes, I wanted to go home.
He wanted to continue to go drinking. He hadn't had enough yet.
That's
dancing.
It was after 2, so
was
there's
after
no
2,
alcohol
so there's no
served where we were going.
Maybe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You pushed your sister fell. According to you, you got mad at the sister falling, you punched him.
No, he threw his sister, and I have a younger sister.
Don't give me...
That's what
he
happened.
pushed her, he shoved her, whatever. You got
threw her.
annoyed, you punched him.
Because I have a younger sister.
Fine,
and he
I
hit
don't
his
care
sister.
why. I don't care if you have 10 younger sisters.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 24-year-old Mark Hall is suing 23-year-old customer service rep Andre Bejan for wrecking his car during a night of drinking.
So you asked him for directions.
That's correct.
He wasn't forthcoming giving you the directions, and since you were all pretty loose, you told him to get out of the car.
That's correct.
That's not what happened.
Shh. And you stopped the car. And he got out of the car.
Right, it's not true.
I didn't ask you a thing. Was I looking at you?
No, you weren't.
You told him to get out of your car. He got out of your car. Then, according to you, you got out of your car.
That's right.
And there was a fight. And you claim that during the course of that fight, he intentionally damaged your car.
That's correct. The fight, the car was damaged
Did you
during
see
the
me
fight.
looking at you?
I'm just trying to state the truth, Your Honor.
I didn't ask you to state a thing.
Okay, I'll refrain until you ask me to speak.
Perfect. Let me tell you what happens when people who are drunk drive a car. They get Zippo sympathy from me.
Understood.
Because if he damaged your car during this fight, you and your car deserved it.
This is something that happened after the fact.
You mean he got really mad and he came over and he kicked the car?
That's correct.
Right.
Just a second. Tell me, Mr. Hall, why, after you told him to get out of your car, and he accommodated you, why did you get out of the car?
We were still continuing our argument.
Why were you continuing your argument? You didn't have to argue with him anymore. You said, get out of my car.
We were still continuing the argument.
No, you wouldn't have continued it if he got out of the car, he closed the door, and you drove away.
That's not what happened, though.
But why?
Still needed to argue, I guess.
About what?
His lack of respect for everything.
You told him to get out of your car because you were annoyed with him. He got out of your car.
That's correct. We were still arguing, though.
Well, how could you have been still arguing, sir, if you're sitting in the car and he's outside the car? You were just...
He didn't want to get out of the car at first until I got out of the car.
I thought I got out first, you just said.
No, you said he got out of the car first.
I got out of the car first.
And then he got out of the car?
Then he got out of the
Then why didn't you get back in the car?
We were still arguing.
So your car got damaged. You were fighting.
This is something that happened after the fact. When
Well,
the fight
tell me
was
how
over.
it happened after the fact, sir. So you're out of the car, he's out of the car. Your sister came out of the car, according to you, to try to
Right.
pull you away from him.
Right.
In the course of that, you pushed your sister fell. Who's the
Threw his
sister?
She
This
flew
is-
about 5
Cried?
feet.
Yes, my sister tried to
Pull
break
you
up the
away,
fight.
you pushed your sister fell. You're the sister?
That's correct.
Did you fall?
Yes, I did.
Good. According to you, you got mad at the sister falling, you punched him.
No, he threw his sister, and I have a younger sister. which I-
Don't give me...
That's what
He
happened.
pushed her, he shoved her, whatever. You
He
got
threw her.
annoyed, you punched him. That's what you said here.
Yes, that's true, because I have a younger sister. and
Fine,
he
I
hit
don't
his
care
sister.
why. I don't care if you have 10 younger sisters.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right, so now he punched you. Then what? Then you started to fight.
We started the fight, yes. After that.
So you fought. And
When the fight was over, I got back into my car.
how did the fight get to be over?
The fight was just
The
over.
bell rang?
Basically.
What happened?
We were done brawling after for 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Got back into my car. He thought that he wasn't done with his business, and he started to damage my
Nonsense.
car
How did
as I was in my car,
Well, tell me how he did that.
kicking it and punching it.
Let me see.
It's nonsense. He was up against his car, and I hit him in the head when he threw his sister. And we were up against his car the whole time.
He's also known for his deceitful lives.
Nonsense.
So you're in this truck? You're talking about these little dents on your car?
$2,400
That's the ones I
worth.
Which
kicked
happened
and
during
punched.
the fight.
Yeah.
Sit down. No, you got some nice little dents on your car. What's the expression? I can't say that. It happens. This stuff happens when you're drunk and you drive a car. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy, computer salesman Ronald Carter, is suing his ex-girlfriend, 23-year-old nurse Catherine Overby, for a down payment on a car. Catherine has a countersuit, claiming Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 200 on the calendar in the matter of Carter versus Overby.
How are you, Bird?
Good, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Carter, according to your complaint, you and the defendant decided to start to live together. You were living in one city, she was living in another city. You joined her where she was living, and you needed a car. According to you, you went shopping for a car. You gave her $1,000 towards the deposit for the car. So far, correct?
Yes, correct.
You lived together for a while. It didn't work out. She kept the car. You want your money back.
Yes.
You have a counterclaim. Counterclaim is on the day that you decided to ultimately break up, Mr. Carter became very violent, and there was an incident in the car that involved not only an assault, but certain destruction of your property, correct?
Correct.
When did you decide to purchase this car together?
In February.
And you had not yet moved down to where the defendant was living,
That's correct.
correct? And you went shopping for the car, and what kind of car did you decide to buy?
It was a 97 Toyota Camry.
Did you go together?
We went together to pick out the car. When we did the agreement and all the dealer papers, this was done. Okay.
Everything is in your name?
Correct.
You say from the day the car came off the lot, he drove it.
Correct.
How long did you drive the car, sir?
1 month.
Till March.
Yep.
Is that when you broke up?
Yes.
When was the first car payment due?
It was the end of March. I'm not sure on the exact date.
Do you know?
We purchased the car on 2/23. The first car payment was due on 3/23, which I paid in full myself.
When did you have this argument?
The argument happened on 3/23.
On the day the car payment was due?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, how much did you put it down as a down payment?
I put $1,000 down.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, Miss Overby, this romance lasted 4 weeks after you purchased the car, correct?
Correct.
Oh. Now, let's say that he used the car for an entire month.
Correct.
And the car payment was
$37.38.
And you acknowledge that you used the car for the whole month?
Yes, correct.
Well, do you think it's fair, Miss Overby, that he should be out his $1,000?
Considering the trauma that I've gone through, the vandalism to my car...
We'll get to your counterclaim in a minute.
Okay.
Let's forget counterclaim for a second. Let's talk about his case. You think it's fair?
I do, considering he used the car for the whole month.
Well, what if, Miss Overby, we did what would be a common sense thing and say to Mr. Carter, look, you used the car for a month, and the car payment for that month was $337. So I'm going to deduct the $337 for your use of the car, right? You couldn't rent a car for less.
Yes.
And I'll give you the balance. Are you following me?
Correct, yes.
Would that be fair?
Yes.
Now, when you broke up that evening, according to what I've read, you came home and found him loading his stuff into this new car.
Correct.
And it was your intention to take the car.
Just to take my stuff back to a location in Boston.
And what did you intend then to do with the car?
I talked to her before. I said if she wanted to keep the car, all she had to do was just return my deposit, or if not, she could go down and transfer the lease into my name. You know, that way it would free her up. But she chose just to want to take the car and go.
You think it's fair, don't you, that you pay for something, some part of that car?
Yes.
Okay. Bird, I'm going to try to work this machine now, you know.
Okay.
This may take a little time. This is not my strong suit, this calculator machine. Ah, 663. Did it. Okay. So, according to what I see, sir, that's $663 that you owe her. Now, you have another small amount of money that you say you spent on this car, and that was to register it.
Registration, which she didn't put anything in.
Okay, and how much did it cost you to register the car?
Like $220.
Show me.
That one, she has it because it was in her name. So all the registration is in her name.
Did he register the car?
He registered the car.
Did he pay for the registration?
He offered the money to me. He gave this money to me as a gift. He said in order for us to do anything together as a couple, he wanted us to be a strong couple.
Why don't you just give me an answer?
Yes,
did he pay
did.
the $220?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And I'm going to give you credit, sir, for the $220 you spent to register the car, because there are some interesting lessons here. One of them is, you don't buy things jointly unless you're married, because courts get irritated if they have to resolve these things between people who are foolish enough to try a living arrangement and then buy cars together and houses together and credit cards together, and then we're asked to take this mishmash and make it right. There are more important things we have to do in courts. You understand that? Next time you decide to live with somebody, keep it separate.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Ronald Carter says his former live-in girlfriend, Catherine Overby, owes him for a down payment on a car. Catherine is accusing Ronald of kidnapping her at knife point.
Now, let's hear what kind of a bad person you were on the night you broke up, because Miss Overby says that her counterclaim is a serious one. Is that right, Miss Overby?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
I was at work. Mr. Pickett had bounced a check to me on behalf of my son due to his non-payment of child support. This is my son's father.
What are you doing sitting over there, sir? I mean, what are you doing here in court?
The initial broke up instigated between those two, which trapped me in the middle. But
Sit down. Sit down. Okay. You Your child's father, he bounced a check. What happened with him? March 23rd.
I got home from work that evening at 10 o'clock. Ronald was coming down the stairs with bags of stuff and putting it in the car. I said, Ronald, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm taking the car. And I said, you can't just take the car. That's considered auto theft. And he said, I don't care. He said, until I get my $1,000 back, I'm stealing the car. I told him, I said, listen, I said, he's acting completely irrational. I totally believe to this day, Your Honor, that this man has an anger problem. And he needs to deal with it because it's very dangerous. I went to the ATM.
Just a second.
What is she talking?
Just a second. So he said he wanted his $1,000 and he was taking the car until he got his $1,000. And you believed he was irrational, but you got into the car with him anyway.
Yes, because he was threatening to steal the car.
All right. A car is a car. Your life is your life. You're supposed to be smart, but you got into the car. And you got into the passenger seat of the car.
I got into the driver's seat of the car at that point.
Well, you didn't end up in the driver's seat.
Correct.
Because he got into the driver's seat, according to your complaint.
Correct.
How did that happen?
I was driving down a highway in New Hampshire called 93.
You were driving?
I was driving at this point. He put a knife to the back of my neck and had control of the wheel and insisted to me to pull off at exits. This man had a knife to my neck. He made me pull the car over. He told me to get out of the car and move to the passenger side, which I didn't. I switched seats within the car. And then he drove.
Where did he drive to?
He drove to his mother's house in Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Okay. Were you talking while you were doing this drive? Were you talking about your problems?
Right.
Were you talking about your problems, Miss Overby?
Yes, we were talking about our problems.
Were you talking about the relationship and how it didn't work out? Were you talking about your son? Were you talking about your son's father?
I was talking about how I wanted to go home to my son. I said, if you're going to kill me, I said, let me give my son a last kiss goodbye, because without me, he has no one.
But were you talking about anything else other than that, Miss Overby?
I told him that, I said, you're completely acting irrational. So I said, I want to leave. I said, I don't ever want to see you again. I said, stay away from me. Don't come near me. I was begging for mercy.
Okay. So then you get to his mother's house, right?
Correct.
And he takes his stuff out of the car?
Yes.
And according to you, he took the keys to the car, too?
Yes, he never came back with my keys, Your Honor.
So what did you do?
I waited outside for about 10 minutes to see if he might come back. Then I decided I would knock on his mother's door. His mother came out probably about 15 minutes later. She said Ronald wasn't there, but kindly let me into her house so I could call AAA that night.
Why did you take the car keys, Mr. Carter?
Because she tossed some of my CDs, so I tossed her car keys.
What do you mean she tossed some of your CDs?
The CDs that I had in the car, I was taking with me. She was like throwing the stuff out of the car, so I threw her keys down.
Did you take any of his CDs and throw them out of the car?
I gave him all of his stuff back.
That's not my question. My question was...
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Yes, you did. You see, put your head down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I gave him all his stuff, but I threw him out of terror.
You threw them?
Right.
So you threw his CDs on the ground?
Correct.
And then he took the car keys and?
I tossed them.
Where'd you toss them?
Like, it's like, I guess, like in a yard right by where we parked in front of the house. But she didn't see where the keys got tossed.
Did you have a knife in the car?
No.
Tell me about the car ride, Mr. Carter.
I was driving to my mother's, and she kept trying to, she wanted to work things out, and I kept saying no, and then she like went in some, driving 90 miles per hour, smoking a cigarette, drinking a soda, just doing everything at one time. So I felt that she was like incapable of driving, so I asked her to pull over, and that's when I completed the ride home to my mother's house.
When did you go to the police, Miss Overby?
I went to the police that night.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you tell the police that he slashed the car tires?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because when I came out to catch the locksmith, the tires to my car were slashed. I also have a AAA report, too.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Carter, did you slash her tires?
No, I did not.
Who slashed her tires, sir? It's much too coincidental.
That's a story that she made up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When she went out to wait for AAA, she found the tires slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
Who's to say she didn't slash the tires?
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well, you don't know Catherine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald Carter claims ex-girlfriend Catherine Overby owes him $1,000. Catherine says Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Oh, Mr. Carter, let me tell you something, sir.
Yes.
I believe that there's a little truth in what both of you are saying about what happened that night. I do believe, Miss Overby, that there was more of a discussion in the hour that you were traveling to his mother's house than just how terrified you were. I do believe, however, Mr. Carter, that you slashed her tires, or you knew who did. Do you want to know why, sir? It's too coincidental, and because the AAA report indicates clearly that the tires were slashed once they got there. The initial report to AAA was that she needed somebody to respond because she had no keys. That telephone call was made from your mother's house,
Yes,
right?
Correct.
And you were not there,
No.
but you were somewhere.
Yes.
And then when she went out to wait for AAA, she found a tire slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
I have no idea. But the case that she brought, all charges were dismissed.
Of course they would dismiss, Mr. Carter, because without any proof,
That is
beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the quantum of proof in a criminal case, they can't proceed. The quantum of proof here in a civil matter is less than beyond a reasonable doubt. It's just more evidence than not. You rely on your common sense. Do you understand? It just doesn't seem logical to me, sir, that somebody else, during that brief 15 minutes while she was in your mother's house waiting for the AAA to respond, didn't like the car and went over and slashed 2 tires on the car. Where did you go, Mr. Carter, when you went home?
I went to my friend's house,
Did you go out the back door?
out the back door.
Did you have to put new tires on the car?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have a receipt for the tires.
Okay. Just for my own information, what was this initial argument about on the 23rd?
On the 23rd?
Yeah.
The initial argument was about me calling my baby's father's job. He
Yes.
thought that it wasn't rational for me to call and ask for the money back from a bounce check he had written out to me on behalf of my son.
Shh, just a second. Is that what the argument was about, Mr.
No.
Carter?
The whole thing started because of her lying, which it started way before that date. But the constant lying that Kathy's always used to doing, I got fed up with the relationship and I decided to end it.
All right, so you decided to end it.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to say, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stand up. Stand up.
Ms. Overby states that she called my job. She did not call my job. It was constant harassment.
Good. Sit down. Okay. Mr. Carter, I have to make a judgment based upon both common sense and the information that I have. I find, however, that your actions on the night of the 23rd of March of this year were totally irrational. You decided to end the relationship.
Yes.
And irrespective of how angry you were because she threw your CDs on the floor, you knew that by tossing the keys in a place in the dark where she would never find them, that she'd have difficulty, right?
I told her where the keys. Oh, I said the keys were outside.
You said the keys were outside. Outside is a big place, Mr. Carter. So you knew she'd have difficulty, and you knew she was going to be stranded. So instead of even waiting at your mother's house, you took off through the back door and went to a friend's house, right?
Yes.
And then lo and behold, after she makes the call to AAA that she has no car keys, she comes out and finds 2 tires slashed. That's according not to her. That's according to AAA. Flattened and slashed.
Who's to say she didn't slash the tires?
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well,
No, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. She may allege a lot of things. She may say that you kidnapped her,
Yeah,
which is baloney because you didn't kidnap you. You got in the car, right? I mean, but part of your counterclaim is you say he kidnapped you. I don't believe that for a minute.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Okay. Well, I find that she had certain out-of-pocket expenses, sir. And her out-of-pocket expenses were $130 for tires. And then you spent a whole night. Who was watching your son during that night?
A babysitter.
Mm-hmm. And this babysitter is someone that you pay by the hour?
Correct.
How much do you pay the babysitter by the hour?
$5 an hour.
Pretty cheap babysitter. What time did you get home the next day?
5 o'clock in the morning.
And what about the evening, being stuck out in a place she's totally unfamiliar with until 5 o'clock in the morning until she finally got herself home? How much do you think that's worth?
I have no idea why she was stuck. I knew nothing about the ties.
You knew about the car keys.
I talked to her that night. I was trying to tell her where the keys was when
Why
I
didn't you
called
go
her.
get the car keys for her instead of telling her where to look for them? Why didn't you say, sorry, I threw them, I'm coming right back, I'll find the keys for you?
She wouldn't give me time. She kept yelling over the phone.
What do you mean she wouldn't give you time?
She wouldn't give me a chance to say anything over
Why don't
the
you get on the
telephone.
phone with your mother and say, listen, she's a little irrational because she doesn't have the keys and I don't want her to be upset. This is where I threw the keys. Why don't you talk to your mother?
Because she had the phone. She wouldn't give anyone else the phone.
Oh, Mr. Carter, you got an answer for a lot of stuff, sir.
You don't know Catherine.
Well, let me ask you this question. Did you call the house or did she call your friend's house?
I called the house.
What'd you call the house for?
I see if she had left.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I could see if it was safe to come back home.
So when you called your mother's house, who answered the phone?
My brother did.
So why didn't you tell your brother to go outside, tell him exactly where you threw the keys so that he could give her back the car keys? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, I should have.
Should have. Right. You should have was going to cost you $883, so I'm dismissing your claim. Do you understand that, Mr. Carter? On the other hand, you owed him some money, right?
Right.
And I've just found that his aggravation that evening cost $883, so your counterclaim likewise is dismissed. Goodbye, folks.
Parties are excused.
Ele usou desse um cara ali, ó. Você tem que ser aqui. बंदा देखना बंदा कैमरा ओ भी नहीं दे और इन्हें नजर आती है कर चलो चलो उन्हें जगह पता चल गई ना बस बंदा एक खड़ा पता नहीं कौन सी वाला चलो कैमरा को चल हो मार गोली वाली जगह Somebody again. Background था डन
मैं कर दो
एक लेवल ठीक है ये कहाँ है लग रही है क्या भाई यहाँ भी देना हाँ घर खड़े घर है ना शाम घर बनी है कुछ घर पता नहीं चौका से पड़ रहा है शुक्र हो गया जंप करो ਇੱਥੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਜੰਪ ਬੰਦੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਉਹ ਦੀ ਦਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ